Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We finally got the first hint or the closest thing we're gonna ever see to some real football. Texas versus Patriots. About 5 minutes to the game starts right here. So just getting in here, kind of looking at the depth chart going over. So first thing I want to say is that right now I think we understand CJ Stroud is going to get some snaps. Want to see those guys out on the football field first, actually, because I mean, who doesn't want to see CJ Stroud? I think that my question that I have right now is really who's going to be better this season, Bryce Young or CJ Stroud? So we know that's one of the storylines that we have to have and talking about it. Just really excited to see these guys looking at the depth chart. And when I was going over the depth chart, I saw some real interesting players on these teams. Just want to see who gets snaps now. I think that some teams operate differently when talking about this process in the preseason. Some teams play those big time guys early, but then some teams they don't play the big time guys early. So I just want to see who really hits the field. I know a couple of guys that I have my eyes on. Tank Dell. Tank Dell, one of the guys that I've been rooting for through and throughout this draft process. So seeing him, even though he's not the biggest guy, and that's what a lot of people will point to, he's still a very good athlete and a very good receiver on this team. So one of the guys I want to see what he does tonight, and really just waiting for kickoff. Right now, biggest thing is, and I want you guys to let me know in the comments. I'm rapid fire questions. Who's going to have the better season right now? If you had to answer right now, CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. I want to hear it in the comments. I think it's a very interesting debate because what a lot of people may point to is that I think I can say the Carolina Panthers have a better offensive line. But we talk about the weapons, and luckily for me, I got out to the Carolina Panthers training camp. I got to see some of those weapons in action. And I think that with these two teams, I don't know if either weapon group is really separating themselves. So right now we have to see. Of course, coming out of college, the thing was with Bryce Young, he's going to elevate his weapon. CJ Stroud, not as mobile within the pocket as Bryce Young. But we saw the Georgia game. So I mean, the Georgia game was kind of really an outlier with him. So some different things we can see here going through the rest of this depth chart. And really, Xavier Hutchinson. Um, and also I saw the injury report right here. I'll pull this up. Pull up the injury report. Because really, it was an interesting injury report. Seeing some of the guys who actually won't play, and kind of we already know this, especially with the big time guys, the stars. Everyone's not going to play, so we can see right here Christian Kirksey, another linebacker, Titus Howard. They really kind of know that he wasn't going to play. Greg Little, Jesse Matthews, Brevin Jordan, talented tight end. This for the Houston Texans. For New England, Trent Brown. See, these are the kind of guys who we don't think are really going to play big time minutes really early on. So Trey Flowers, defensive end, another veteran, and Tom Montgomery the second. So that is the injury report right there with that and what we have. So getting back, and I want to go over this depth chart for the other team because, like I said, this is the first time that we had some real ball in a minute. I cannot tell you how excited I am to watch some actual football. It's been way too long, way too long. So we see the depth chart right here for the New England Patriots. Pretty solid depth chart, like we said. I think that now bringing in Bill O'Brien, there are some questions with this Patriots team, and so questions that we want to answer. Like I said, right now it's kind of early to answer those questions, but there are some guys in this room which I have eyes on. Tyquan Thornton running that 4-2. How much reps will he get tonight? Keishawn Butte out of LSU, another one of those guys, showed some major flashes, but will tonight be his night? I think that's the kind of question that I have for him. Very ultra talented guy, but has to put it all together. And we look at some of these tight ends. So really, I think I have to. It's all really about waiting and seeing right now who hits the football field. Also on defense as well, we see some of the defenders for the New England Patriots. That's some pretty solid guys, and also Marte Mapu, a guy that they drafted, and really. I think that when we talk about the New England Patriots draft, some people say, "What are you doing?" Especially with that pick, because kind of that safety linebacker hybrid. We're seeing so much of these players in the NFL now, and he's yet another one of those safety linebacker hybrids. But what will be his role on this team? Like I said, you don't know really how far and how quickly he's going to catch on and carve himself out of role, but an interesting player nonetheless. Um, We look at Christian Gonzalez, Sean Wade appearance. That is something I'm looking at on a football field. I think we all remember Sean Wade, those snaps that he got at Ohio State, and really, it was funny because had an extremely high draft stock, and I do not know what happened. I'm telling you, it was one of those things, and I think that what we find kind of funny when we talk about the NFL and the draft process, some of these guys early on, they're clicking and they're catching on, and then they get a go against the big time receivers. Even AJ Terrell, I feel like he's always one of the guys that I could point to, has some tough outings against some very good receivers, of course. And even Kelly Ringo from Georgia had a tough outing against Marvin Harrison Jr., but still a good corner. So we want to see what he does for Philly. AJ Terrell, we see he's balling in Atlanta. So these are the type of things you have when you talk about those players, and it's almost game time. It's almost game time. Ready for this here to start. Like I said, I just want to see CJ Stroud, and hopefully he gets enough snaps to the point where I can do a film breakdown on him. That's something I'm very interested to do that I want to do. And I just want to see what these guys do really offensively. Of course, we're watching defense, but I think the big time names and the players. Also, Bailey Zappi, right here. Let me scroll back up to this. I don't know if we're talking enough about Bailey Zappi. Trace McSorley, I think right now he's kind of one of the guys who he's played for the Baltimore Ravens. He's played for some teams. Trace McSorley, we're not really expecting a high ceiling out of Trace McSorley, but Bailey Zappi, though, out of Western Kentucky, threw for a ton of yards at Western Kentucky, and now he's backing up Mac Jones. And you know what's funny about it, though? When he came in for those couple of games that Mac Jones was out, people really took it to the extent that we're going Bailey Zappi over Mac Jones, and I think it is kind of tough sledding because you have Matt Patricia. You don't have a true play caller in that system. And really, when you look at it like that, of course, he's not going to have the success in which he had in college that he had at one point in time because it's just not there. It's so many little things that a true offensive coordinator can teach Mac Jones, and I don't think he was set up for success last year. So a lot of things I want to see this year coming into the season with Mac Jones. But Bailey Zappi got my eyes on him tonight, and the reason I say that is because I think Bailey Zappi is going to get more snaps than Mac Jones. I don't think Mac Jones will probably even get any significant snaps in tonight's game, especially going into his third year now. So, had a sophomore slump, of course, but we understand what was around him. Bailey Zappi in his rookie season, in a stint, came in and made some big time plays. So I'm ready to see this game. And before we have the game, we always have all of the extra things that we have to do. So still getting into that. And right here they're showing the Houston Texans, that trade they made to go get a Will Anderson and a CJ Stroud, a very aggressive trade that they made. They gave up a lot of capital just to go get those two guys. But when you make a trade and you get a CJ Stroud, you get a Will Anderson, I think that it's warranted, even though you gave up what you gave up. Now, of course, if you're on the side of people who say Will Anderson is not ever going to be Miles Garrett, Will Anderson is not ever going to be TJ Watt, then maybe you don't like the trade just as much because you trade up so high to get him. You gave up so much to get him. But I do think he's a game record. So also a guy who's going to get some snaps tonight. I'm watching him as well. I want to see how can he elevate his game. We know right now he's elite in speed to power, but I want to see some more finesse. I want to see some more hand use to get you to that next level off of the edge. And with CJ Stroud, like I said, another guy who some question the ceiling. And I think it's so funny when we say ceiling for these young players because we just don't know yet. We truly don't know where we're getting, but I think it's interesting when we talk about it like that. Um, so these guys are warming up right now. Seeing who we got. Like I said, very interesting group, very interesting teams playing tonight. Looking back at this depth chart, Juice Scruggs. Hopefully he gets some impactful snaps. I think he will. And that was one of the guys in the draft out of Penn State I was looking at that center position. I think they drafted him actually pretty high, contrary to what the consensus was on Juice Scruggs. Even though he's a good player, I just don't think he has any elite traits as far as athleticism and things like that. But still a solid player that you want in your offensive line. Now they're adding that. So So it looks like what I'm hearing right now, we won't see a lot of Mac Jones. Like I said, kind of the same thing I really expected when talking about Mac Jones. Martu Mapu, yep. Bailey Zappi, Christian Gonzalez. What is the ceiling for a guy like Christian Gonzalez? I think that I don't know how he dropped to the New England Patriots, and really that it was a savvy move, the trade they made with the Pittsburgh Steelers, because I can tell you the New York Jets. Now, of course, it's coming out now that they weren't going to get Broderick Jones, but I think that in my heart of hearts, I think they were going to get Broderick Jones. If I had to say that, I feel like either way it would have went. It was a savvy move because interdivision with New England and the Jets, you move up, you take a player who's possibly on their board. I like what they did right there with that move. I see a lot of people talk about CJ Stroud over or under. Like I said, I don't know how much snaps or how many drives, series, whatever he's gonna get. Hopefully, he gets as much as he possibly can. At least, I would say at the ceiling of how much playing time he gets, probably a quarter. It won't be no more than a quarter for CJ Stroud. But I think that whatever playing time he does get, we're pulling his depth chart back up. It's gonna be significant, and seeing what he can do right now. Looking back at this defensive end. So that kick return now, they're about to kick off. Yeah, they're about to kick off. We're gonna pull up the score tracker right here. And guys, just feel free to comment. Talk about, if you're watching the game as well, or you want to stay up with the updates about what I'm seeing on the football field, some of the different things. Very interesting. Like I said, 82 return the kick. So who's the quarterback coming out first for New England? We want to see that right here. We're about to see right here. Mac Wilson Sr., Jack Jones, another interesting DB, had a very good year last year, but he's out there. Christian Gonzalez is out there. Jalen Mills, a veteran, played for the Philadelphia Eagles. So they got some pretty good defense out there. Actually, the Texans are offense right now. Got a fullback in motion. One high look. A lot of people in the box. See this Stroud, good throw. Good throw. Who's our receiver? Is that Nico Collins? Yeah, Nico Collins. Yeah, so they're already making plays early. Nico Collins, one of those big body receivers. Want to see what his true impact will be this season for a young guy like CJ Stroud. And I think right now what we can see is that it's important. It's important for him to get that kind of thing under the center work, running the ball. Good defense by New England. Like I said, New England has some actual veterans out there as well. With the new guys that they have out there, they got some veterans. So having that, adding that, that's pretty good to have for that team. Nico Collins, first catch he made physical, but a good read by CJ Stroud, quick and decisive from the pocket. Christian Gonzalez. Want to see out. Hope they test him in coverage because I just want to see what he does and how he reacts to certain things in coverage. Under the center. All right. Devin Singletary with a good catch, first down. Let me get these updates right here. These updates right here. So they're looking pretty good on offense right now. CJ Stroud completion, a run that kind of went dead, and then another run by Devin Singletary to get the first down. Want to see what they have, and it's raining there. It just started raining, so CJ Stroud pressure takes a sack. Probably could have threw that one away right there, but took the sack. Whaley, if I'm pronouncing that right. Great sack by him, though. And they're working a lot from under the center, what I'm seeing right now from Houston. So he's getting this actually from the 3-tech. This is a 3-tech getting a sack. Number 90, number 95 for New England Patriots getting a big-time sack. So we're in second and long right now for the Houston Texans. I want to see what they do. How do they react? Like I said, I want to see how he reacts to the adversity, to the two things that he has to step up and answer to. From the gun, getting pressured again, on the move, just a scramble for a couple yards. So pretty good right now. And really, the biggest thing that I'm seeing right now from the New England Patriots, they're getting pressure on CJ Stroud. You wonder, is that the answer for a guy like CJ Stroud? Is that how you get him off of his spot? And that's 95 getting some more pressure. Actually, 90, 99. I comment. Player to watch on defense. Player to watch on defense for the New England Patriots, Christian Gonzalez right now. First round selection corner. Good ball. Oh! A pick, actually. Jalen Mills, like I said, one of those veterans on the Patriots defense. I got to see the replay on this. What was he actually seeing? That's crazy. A pick by CJ Stroud. First drive. 11 minutes left in the game. Now the Patriots are in the red zone. So you have to figure they're about to capitalize right here. So right here. Too high safety set. Looks like court. Yeah. That's a great play by the DB. So now they're in the red zone. Gotta see what the answer is. Bailey Zappi. Who's the running back? Is that Pierre Strong? Pierre Strong. Jumping that. Yep. It's there, but you got to see that safety jumping that. You got to see that safety. Like I said, Jalen Mills being a veteran, making a big time play right there, but you got to see that safety if you CJ Stroud. I'm not going to overreact to it, though. I'm not going to overreact to it. Bailey Zappi. Step up. Dump off. Pierre Strong is a pretty good running back for the New England Patriots as well. They got some guys, but you know Ramondre Stevenson, he's going to carry the load in that backfield. I think we can say that right now. Looking at what's going on. And on that pick, that was a ball. On that pick, that was a ball that CJ Stroud was trying to get the Tank Dell. So trying to build that connection with his young guy, but threw a pick right there. Bailey Zappi, 3rd and 4 from the pocket. 3rd and 4. Taking a sack. Like I said, right now it's pressure. Right now on both sides is pressure. I mean, the Houston Texans, they just got after it. So they're about to settle for this field goal. Even though you just got an interception, kind of getting in your territory, you still got to settle for a field goal. Not a terrible drive from the quarterback and the skill group, but offensive line play, it hasn't been up to par just yet. And you kind of got to wonder, is the question. Shout out Darren Chambers with the comment. What's up, man? Who fault was that? I think that was CJ Stroud's fault on the pick. You got to see that safety coming down. It looked like he really didn't see him. Yeah, offensive lines both look horrible. Yep. Now it's 3-0. New England Patriots with the lead. About to update this right here. And like I said, you have to wonder now because you've been having all teams haven't had joint practices yet, but you've been having training camp, OTAs, mini camps. And while the intensity has been raised to that point, this is a whole nother level of intensity with the preseason. Guys are trying to make the team, they're trying to feed their family. So it's a little different than playing the guy that you know every day, than your buddy that you've been rooming with. It's a little different in this preseason. And I think they have to get adjusted to that physicality level right now. So update this right here. 9:43 left in the first. Pretty interesting game so far. Got some guys making plays. 9:43 first. Yeah, pretty interesting game so far. Like I said, the biggest thing we have right now is the CJ Stroud pick. Shout out Darren Chambers with the comment. Could Justin Fields versus Jalen Hurts be the next Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady? Whew. That's a very interesting comment. I think that I think it could be a matchup, one of the more interesting matchups that we see in the NFL. But I don't know if Peyton Manning and Tom Brady are the right analogy because of their play style. I think that Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields, they like to use their mobility a lot. So looking at Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, I see what you're kind of trying to say with the matchup. I just don't know if the play styles really answer that for me. Was the interception ugly? Shout out to Liker with the comment. Was the interception ugly? I think yes, it was ugly. And like I said, when we get to the film, when we talk about it, I think we'll see it. Kind of what he was seeing. The safety bit down. He had a guy initially, but the safety bit down in the coverage. It looked like he did not see him. So kind of when you're trying to get in the zone early, throwing the ball, it was kind of ugly. It was kind of ugly. Like I said, right now though, I'm not going to overreact to it. I'm still want to see another job because New England Patriots, they went down on in their territory and they went down in their territory and they got a field goal. So now the Houston Texans are back on the clock. So we got to see how they answer this. How does CJ Stroud bounce back to adversity? And before the game was starting, this was the first thing I was saying. I want to see how he reacts to the adversity. I want to see when something happens, how does he come back from it? Shout out Darren Chambers for the comment. I think CJ height is going to be a big factor in his career. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that the biggest thing is, and when you say that his height is going to be a big factor in his career, is that pertaining to comparing him to Bryce Young? Or are you just saying in general? Now, I do think that's a good point that you make because it does help a bit, especially with seeing from the pocket. Some shorter quarterbacks have struggled, but I don't think it's the end all be all. But if you do have the height, then yes, it is an advantage. It will be a big factor for him. Shout out Liker. I'm a Panthers fan that was screaming for us to draft him, so I'm rooting for Stroud. Yeah, especially with Josh McCown. I don't know if you saw that film breakdown with Josh McCown where he was really rooting for Stroud during the whole process. He was watching the film. So I thought that yes, especially with the representatives. I was following that representatives all at his pro day, but they went Bryce Young. I The closer we got, I kind of knew it and I kind of saw it. But I think they didn't go wrong with either quarterback that they would have selected. Shout out Jim Green with the comment. How many yards was the pass on the interception? So it was third and long, and he was trying to get it to the sticks through a pick right there. So I would say it was about 15 yards, an intermediate pass. It wasn't deep down the field, but it also wasn't short. Intermediate pass that we saw in interception. But now they're back on the field though, and I believe Stroud. If I'm correct, I believe Stroud is still on the football field. Under the center again, we're seeing a lot of under the center from the Houston Texans. Seeing how they operate out of that, CJ Stroud, and he did some of that at Ohio State. Could Justin Fields be in the MVP? Good run, 5 yards. Who's the back right there? I believe that's Singletary. But yeah, could Justin Fields be in the MVP race this year? Yes, he could if everything clicks, and that's with the offensive line, with DJ Moore being his number one receiver. I think that he could. I wouldn't bet on it just yet, but if everything clicks, he has everything coming up to be, and I think that it can happen. 843 ENT. How long should Stroud play? Um, you keep throwing picks, they need to take him out. But no, on a serious note, he should probably play about 2 more drives, 2 to 3, 3 at the most from the pocket. Missed throw right here, high. Could have been saving his receiver on this one too, though. Who's the corner? Who's the DB on that play? Shout out Liker with the comment. So yeah, a bit high to Singletary. You have to understand that's a running back, does not have the same catch radius. I came on YouTube looking for people talking about Stroud, and I might have just found me a new sports channel. I like this dude, his analysis. You're going much appreciated for the comment. Thank you for that comment, my guy. Yeah, I really like CJ Stroud. Like I said, the pick, kind of ugly, but we still want to see what he does. 3rd and 5 right here, though. Big time play. 3rd and 5. In the gun. Facing pressure again, another high throw. Like I said, the offensive line is not helping him. If we want to talk about missed throws, and I know it's going to be the narrative because it's CJ Stroud, he's the number 2 overall pick, but roughing the passer. So he catches a break right here, and I'm going to update this banner right here. He catches a break, roughing the passer. I don't know how. I don't know if that was truly roughing the passer, but you got to give these refs something sometimes. Got to give these refs something sometimes. Uh, Shout out Darren Chambers with the comment. Could Robert Tunyon take White Rhino, Cole Komet starting place by the end of the season? I think not. I think they'll work together though. I think Cole Komet does have the edge because also just got the contract extension. But I do think he'll be a better player, and already being familiar with the scheme with Justin Fields, I feel comfortable with him being the better of the two by the end of the season. I see Cole Komet going up. I truly don't think we've seen the best of him just yet. But nice comment right there. And they're running the football. They got a fullback in with the formation under the center. You have to wonder, and of course, with Damian Pierce, this is going to be a run first team. Like I said, they don't have the elite weapons on the edge. Got some solid guys, but don't have the elite weapons. So he's still under the center. You're getting a lot of work under the center from CJ Stroud. Like I said, you have that motion from the fullback. Play action, stumbles. That's a tough throw, but a good completion. Third and 5 right now, I believe. We gotta I gotta see Anthony Jennings. I think Anthony Jennings, I think that's the linebacker from Alabama. He's getting pressure. Patriots defense will be I think top 10 this year. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I do think with the players they have in place, I do think that this will be a very good defense this year. Don't know what the team will be like, but I think a very good defense. Shout out Darren Chambers with the comment. Could Tyler Scott become the next Tyreek? Takes another, not a sack, goes down. So I think they're about to get off the football field right here. Could Tyler Scott become the next Tyreek Hill? I'm a Bears fan, by the way. Yeah, I can see that. It depends on how they use him. He has athleticism. He's extremely fast, but it depends on how Luke Getsy uses him in that system for the Chicago Bears. Shout out Sensei So Base. Never watched a live before, but your videos, content is always top notch. Appreciate what you do. Much appreciated for the comment. Thank you, my guy. 843 ENT. This cat, yeah, I don't think it is actually. Because first off, Titus Howard, their tackle, he's already out. He was on the injury report, so know you're missing your tackle. But really, a lot of pressure. It's pressure everywhere. I don't even know if I want to say it's the tackle. It's pressure from the defensive ends, the interior defensive linemen. It's rough right now. Jim Green, the knock on Stroud in college was he had. Yep, you're absolutely right with that comment, Jim Green. Right now, it's looking like I said, it's way too early to really say that he's going to be the guy that struggles with that right now. But yes, right now they are struggling. I think it's a team with pressure, offensive line, everybody right now. So like her Stroud look like, yep. Stroud looks like he's letting his nerves get the best of him. He looks so. I absolutely agree, especially with the pick. And like I said, this is why you want to see with the coaching staff. Now, do they say, okay, you threw a pick, you got a 3 and out. It's looking like right now we want to get you some more practice time before we push you out there and say, okay, now it's time to ball. But like I said, at the same time, the number 2 overall pick. So it's a thin line you got to walk when you talk about CJ Stroud and how do you prepare him for the season, because he is the starter. It's no Davis Mills starting for this team. Darren Chambers. What's your favorite team? My favorite team is the Pittsburgh Steelers. AFC North, very tough division. It's going to be a dogfight this season, if anything. So we're in a commercial break right now. Like I said, a defensive game right now to this point. A guy that I would shout out, Anthony Jennings, and I want to see who's that defensive tackle that's making plays. I want to get his name out. Trying to find him right here. Yeah, Daniel Equale. Daniel Equale. 5 years in the NFL. Number 95. He's had some pressures. Anthony Jennings has some pressures. Didn't get to see a lot so far from the Texans defense because they got the quick 3 and out. So right now they're on the football field. They're being asked to make plays. We want to see the best of this defense now. So that's coming up. That is coming up right now. Edit this right here. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting game right now. Like I said, defense is winning the day. CJ Stroud looks a bit unsettled with pressure. Offensive line is struggling. So they got Antonio Mafi, a rookie for the New England Patriots. City So, another rookie. Yeah. Demario Douglas, very interesting receiver. Kayshawn Boutte talked about him before we got into the game. Taquan Thornton, Pierre Strong, but Bailey Zappi. I want to see what Bailey Zappi can do right now. So we're on the field now. About to update this banner. About to update this right here. So a run right here on first down. We're about to update this right here. It's 6 minutes left in the first, but you're about to see it updated right here on the banner. It's still 3-0. A real dog fight right now. 6:21 in the first. Texans, Patriots. Show this. So this is what we have right now. 6:07. 2nd and 7. Bailey Zappi under the center. Seeing a lot of under the center work from these teams. You wonder, is this really? Well, I think with the Patriots, yes, because of Ramondre Stevenson and what they like to do, we'll see a lot of this with Mac Jones. Another run goes dead. Who's that on the play? 97. Interior defense. Darren Chambers. Shout out with the comment. Hot take, but Darnell Mooney will be a top 15 receiver in the league by the end of the season. Do you think that will be the case with when they have DJ Moore? And you got to think, is Chase Claypool going to step up? So a very good receiver, but will he have the touches and the opportunities in kind of a crowded receiver room? And a guy like you just talked about, Tyler Scott. So will he have those opportunities? Bailey Zappi from the pocket, going deep. Good catch. That's Taquan Thornton. We said it. Has the 4.2 speed, but can he put it together? And he just went to go get that catch. Bailey Zappi a bit high with the ball, but he still went to go get it. Against press, but zone coverage. That's a great catch before the safety could get there. Amazing catch by Taquan Thornton. One of the guys, athletic. Another play from the pocket. Good ball by Zappi. Who's 82? Nixon. Big time plays for the Patriots right now. They're putting together a drive. And that was receiver with the catch. That was Trey Nixon with the catch. They for 3 Texans first pick in next year's draft. Said it first. Yeah. I can Arizona as well. 2 teams. Interesting, but I do think that if I had to bet on it, I would say they would be in the running for that. I do like the young pieces they got, but I think it's way too early to try to be competing. And the AFC is stacked. This is one of the best AFCs of all time, probably. Shout out Darren Chambers. I think teams will double DJ Moore, so Mooney will have more open catches. That's a fair point. Yeah, it just has to stay healthy. And I think that because in his season prior to last season, had a bunch of yards. So if he can get back to that, being the number 2 now, feel confident in that. Bailey Zappi, throwaway. 2nd and 10. About to update this banner right here. Update this. So like I said, yeah, the Patriots, they putting together a drive right now. They trying to do it. 258 first. It's still 3-0 though. It's still 3-0. I don't know. Bailey Zappi, I wonder if he'll ever, because I don't think he's going to start over Mac Jones, but if he continues to impress, will he come into a season and be a guy who good screenplay, not going anywhere though. Will he be a guy who gets an opportunity on another team? I think that's a question we can kind of ask. Shout 843 ENT. Do the Patriots make the playoffs? I think no. I think no. And that's not to say they're a bad team. If they do make the playoffs, it'll be a dogfight. But I think no, because the Jets, the Dolphins, the Bills, out of all of those teams, I cannot firmly say that the Patriots are more talented than one of those teams. And I cannot say that they have the better quarterback than those teams. So now, probably people are probably gonna say Tua. Why do you still believe in Tua? I believe in Tua. He just gotta stay healthy. Was in the MVP race. We gotta remember that. This is what you really don't want to see though. 2:57 left in the first. You don't want to see these pre-snap penalties. Even in practice, I think a big thing in which we've seen so far, pre-snap penalties have been killing teams' morale and everything going on. Shout out Darren Chambers with the comment. Chicago should trade for Josh Jacobs or JT and move on from Khalil Herbert. Um, I think that it will make the team better, but my question for you is, do you pay one of those guys? Do you pay Josh Jacobs or Jonathan Taylor? Big time run by JJ Taylor. Like I said, the Patriots, they're going to have another run game. Stevenson, Pierre Strong, they're bringing out the kicking unit. So I don't want to update this just yet because it's preseason. We want to see can these kickers really kick. But about to kick at the ball right here. So hypothetically, it's about to be 6-0 Patriots with the lead in the first. No, actually, they're punting the ball. They're punting the ball. So we got a punt right here from New England. Is CJ Stroud coming back on the field? Pretty rough first two drives right now. The Jets O-line is looking real shaky. Absolutely. And like I said, with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots working with that trade to take Broderick Jones, I've heard that Broderick Jones was not going to be the pick for the New York Jets, but I think that there's no way you can tell me that. With Mekhi Becton, and didn't Mekhi Becton actually got hurt in the Hall of Fame game? I believe he's probably back healthy now, but he went off the field. Then you got Dwayne Brown on the other side. He's older. He's not a bad player, but he's older. So that's one thing we got to look at. It is shaky, and if the team was not to win a Super Bowl, it's going to be the offensive line. That's what I firmly believe. Shout out Darren Chambers. We have a lot of caps, so we could afford one of those moves. Yeah. That's a fair point to make. I don't know if Ryan Poles will pull the trigger on that, but you can never count him out. I don't think you can ever count him out for that. Okay, so we had a commercial break. I want to see who's the quarterback on the field right now. Update this right here. Texans Patriots 3. So we got about a little over a minute left in the first quarter right now. It's 3. They need to update this. Oh, actually, yeah, it's 3-0. Yeah. So I think the biggest question we have right now is who's the quarterback going to be for the Texans on this drive. Do you do basketball videos? Shout out Darren Chambers. Do you do basketball videos because Kyrie is visiting Lakers today? Yes, absolutely. Just dropped a video on Team USA. That did a lot of things. Talked about the Mavericks, Chet Holmgren, how I think the Thunder, this is finally the year they get over the hump. But Kyrie, I don't know. See, I don't want to ever count LeBron out, Rob Pelinka, but I don't know if they have to make a move. I like the team they got right now. And looking at how things went last season after the trade deadline, post Russell Westbrook, I think they had some good things going. Now, you get swept in the playoffs. That's kind of rough. But I do think with what they did in free agency, pretty solid draft pick in Hood Shafino, pretty solid team. Shout out Jamari Johnson, Cowboys NFC Championship 2023. Must have been 2013. It was that a typo? 2013 for the Dallas Cowboys. So a new quarterback, and this was what I was saying. You have to wonder when you walk that thin line with CJ Stroud, throws a pick, has a 3 and out. He's kind of struggling right now. So is he? You got to get some more practice time with him. Like I said, it's probably something we're gonna look at on film after the game. But right now, get a new quarterback. Who is this? Is this Davis Mills? Yeah, Davis Mills. Davis Mills has some pretty solid starts. I think that the Houston Texans, though, they just wanted that guy, the franchise guy. You know how it is with the franchise guys. Cowboys. Good ball right there. Who's that receiver? Is that Hutch? Oh, Tank Dell. Tank Dell making some big time plays. 1993, yeah, maybe 1953 for the Dallas Cowboys. Darren Chambers, hot take. I think Baker Mayfield will go off this season. He has the weapons. Does he have the offensive line? That's the question. But With the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure because a lot of people look at Tom Brady and they say that he was kind of cooked and done in that last season. But I yes and no. Yes to the fact that he was kind of on his way out, but also everything around him kind of fell apart. That's not saying Mike Evans is still a consistent receiver, but Chris Godwin, he had to get back healthy. It was a lot of things going on with that team. Shout out Jamar. Dak locked in, no 10 interceptions. I gotta see it. I gotta see it from Dak. I'm not ready to say that. He's just a turnover machine, and the picks are bad. The picks are bad from Dak Prescott. 8 for 3 NT Mills is all right. I agree. I agree. Like I said, I think it's just having that quote unquote franchise quarterback. Davis Mills, while he wasn't going to elevate the team to a Super Bowl, he wasn't terrible. He truly wasn't. You got to remember the Texans competed with some teams they had no business being with. So a run going nowhere. 48 on the play and number two, Jalen Mills. Jalen Mills getting a lot of reps for a guy who's a veteran right now and has been a good veteran in the NFL. He's getting a lot of reps right here, but making plays. Shout out Jim Green with the comment. Bad move. Let him get his. I agree. Like I said, it's that thin line you got to walk, and I think that if he would have gotten those reps, it could have also helped him because now you got more film to break down. If I'm the coach, I don't care what the media consensus is because that's probably what they're thinking. He's the number 2 pick, is not looking great so far. We don't want to build a narrative that he's struggling. And really, what I've been hearing in training camp, he's been looking good. So what is the truth? Is he looking good because he just came out here and struggled? Now, the New England Patriots have a good defense. Like I was talking about, they have a good defense. Even though this is not the starters, it's a lot of things to say about this situation. Shout out Darren Chambers with the comment. My Super Bowl prediction is Bengals versus the Bears. Um, you think that okay. Feel pretty confident in the Bears winning the North because to get to the Super Bowl, you have to win the North. That's a tough one. I don't know if I think maybe next year it's time to start having that Super Bowl conversation. I don't know if this year is the year. Made a lot of good moves, talented team, but I don't know if this year is the year. So up to this point, Davis Mills is in. CJ Stroud's probably done for the night. The Bear. So yeah, about to update this banner. Like I said, CJ Stroud looked a bit unsettled so far. It's second quarter right now. We're about to write this up right here. I don't with CJ Stroud is so tough. I would have kept him in the game for one more drive. Like Jim Green commented, it's so tough when you talk about that situation. And I think the pick kind of led to a lot of that. If he would have got a drive going, maybe, just maybe. So we're at the top of the second quarter though. Top of the second quarter though. Still some interesting things going on. Um, in no, in no way. Darren Chambers. I think PJ Walker would get a couple catches. PJ Walker's a quarterback. But do you think that Justin Fields is going to throw him in like a wildcat situation or something? Throw him the ball or something? He is an athletic guy. He probably could catch a pass. I don't think Luke Getz would call that up though. Shout out Jamari Johnson. Top 5 Super Bowl teams. This is rapid fire. Do not hold me to this. Please don't. Rapid fire. Dolphins. Dolphins, my team. San Francisco 49ers. Two. Get in the camera. 2. 3. I'm adding in the Philadelphia Eagles. So that's 3 teams. I gave you 2 NFC teams. I gave you the Dolphins. Number 4, Chiefs. Number 4, Chiefs. I'm tripping. Number 4, Chiefs. Number 5, though. I gotta throw in a wild card because I think up to this point I've said teams everybody said. Bengals. I gotta say Bengals. The chemistry is there. A lot of things are there. Now they lost two big time safeties, but it's hard to count Joe Burrow out. If he gets back healthy and he gets on point. I was about to say that. yeah, I forgot because I was talking about NFC, but yeah, the Chiefs. Yeah, they're probably the favorite right now. Davis Mills from the pocket. 93 with the pressure. Flags flying around. Who is 93? That's a good pressure for New England. Hot take: I think Brock Purdy would be better than Patty. Is that Patrick Mahomes? That's an extremely hot take. I think the live stream might catch on fire. Brock Purdy better than Patrick. That is. Whew. That's a hot take. That is absolutely a hot take. Shout out 843 ENT. Ravens versus Giants Super Bowl. Giants win number 5. Another hot take. Another hot take. Yeah. I think that two talented teams with the Ravens. I'm a bet on Lamar. I can say I would bet on Lamar. I wouldn't count them out. The Giants just got to see it. Like I said, I love the coaches they have. A miss on a big time would have been completion from Davis Mills. But yeah, I think that the Giants, they have some. They're better than last year. You wonder, making the playoffs, winning a wild card game with the team they had last year, and adding all the pieces they did this year with the coaching staff. Maybe this might be Brian Dable in the running for Coach of the Year again, if he can get it done. So a lot of what I say about the Giants rides on Brian Dable. I think he is that guy, one of the best coaches in the game. Davis Mills again, run. They run the ball on 3rd and 20. They're ready to punt the ball. Jim Green, shout out Jim Green for the comment. Purdy is looking mid in training camp so far. I think that I gotta see all of those guys in preseason. I'm talking about Darnold, Purdy, and Trey Lance. That was one I made a video talking about that quarterback controversy in itself. But you gotta wonder because Brock Purdy, like I said, he has the edge, is the guy for me right now. But I think that I gotta see those other two guys with the equal amount of opportunities, and then I'll judge. And you gotta wonder with that comment because he only played 6 to 8 games. So can we really say that's a full sample size? Can we really say that? Even though he did look good in the sample size in which he was in there. Shout out Darren Chambers. Dante Pettis won't make 53-man team. Yeah, I think that's fair to say. So everybody update this banner here. Back with the Patriots with the football. You gotta wonder, is Bailey Zappi still gonna be in the game? Like I said, we knew Mac Jones wasn't getting any run tonight. 13:41 left in the second. 13:41 left in the second. Save this right here. So we had a commercial break right now. 13:41. Like I said, some guys really the defensive line for the New England Patriots flashing right now. Out of everything I said that I saw so far, and really quarterback play outside of Bailey Zappi putting together that one drive after they got the field goal. I don't think the quarterback play has been great for either team, and that's even including CJ Stroud. So some pretty solid run games, I would say, but defense has came to play. And for everyone who's in here, we're going live again tomorrow with the New York Giants versus the Detroit Lions. I'll be live streaming that game tomorrow. So we know that's gonna be an interesting one. Trey Simmons with a comment. Debo is ready to show up this year. He may show up, but will he produce? I think that's a different question that you gotta ask. Debo Samuel, I don't know, because you bring in Christian McCaffrey, you still got George Kittle. Brandon Ayuk is becoming a better player year by year, so you gotta wonder, is he gonna have the same opportunities like he had? The offense is so stacked with weapons for that team. That's what I would say. Surprise Brock Purdy is in. CC throwing great comeback. Surprise Brock Purdy. Surprise Brock Purdy is in what? I'm surprised he's in the game. Put Sam Darnold in there. I think right now has to have the edge. 8-for-3 Pats. Yeah, Pats defense best part of this game. I agree with that statement. It's been ugly offensively. Outside of that Bailey Zappi drive, it's been ugly offensively. Shout out Darren Chambers with the comment. Hot take: Rams will trade Aaron Donald to Chargers for Keenan Allen and Khalil Mack. I think that would be a trade that probably could help both teams. Now, Keenan Allen is a very good receiver, but drafted Quentin Johnson, still got Mike Williams, and will Keenan Allen stay healthy? So you probably wonder, are they frustrated with him now at this point, having some nicks? But Aaron Donald, I don't know. That's not enough, though. That's not enough to get Aaron Donald, I would say. You got to throw in about 3 first-round picks. to get Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald is him and Chris Jones, maybe Quentin Williams. Still got to see some more from him, but those three, as far as pass rush now, if you're talking about stopping the run, Jeffrey Simmons, Dexter Lawrence, but Darren. Shout out Solid Benefits with the comments. And Panthers looking pretty good. Yeah, it was no practice for the Carolina Panthers today, but yesterday in joint practice, the offense looked pretty good. And I think that I was kind of surprised because when I got out there, I did not see the offense that I've been hearing about. And then as soon as I leave, I'm hearing about the offense again. Bryce Young looking very good against the Jets defense. Probably going to be top 5 this year. So I'm putting some stock into that. I want to see the preseason game as well, but they are looking pretty good. Defensively, they're getting after it too. Still, I would say probably some questions in the secondary, but that front seven getting after it. Tyquan Thornton with the play with the play of the game so far though. Yeah, they showing it again. Bailey Zappi, zone coverage before the safety can get. That's a heck of a throw, actually. To even throw that ball, you got to be pretty brave. So, shout out Darren Chambers with the comments. If my takes happen, I better be taking Skip's job. Yeah, yeah. I definitely agree, especially with the Chargers that trade with Aaron Donald. Yeah, maybe. Shout out Quiz the guard. Detroit getting 12 wins this year. I could see it. I definitely, like I said, the Lions they've done enough to show me. You know, some people say it's still the same old Detroit Lions, but added some real good talent. And last year, the second half of the season, though, not looking at the total team record, the second half of that season, a real good football team. So they're punting again. Here is no offense, no big time plays right now. They need to take Jalen Mills out of the game. Jalen Mills has been in the NFL. Let me check. Because this is not fair. He's been in the NFL for 8 years. And he's making plays flexing. I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. You've been in the NFL 8 years. You flexing against some of these young players now. Shout out Darren Chambers with the comments. Cardinals and Packers will be 0-16-1. Oh, Cardinals and Packers. I want to say though, I've been seeing some things out of Jordan Love though. I will say in training camp, I've been seeing some things. Now it's gonna be shocking. He comes out here, you go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers. If Jordan Love can take that step, it's gonna be shocking. I'm not betting on it, but I've seen some things in training camp. Cardinals, yeah, the Cardinals though. I'm not sold on the Cardinals right now. And then they gave Buda Baker some more money. I don't really know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. Update this banner. 11:43 in the second. 11:43. Get this right here. So this is what we have right now. The ugly game. 0. I think tomorrow though, with the Lions and the Giants, hopefully it's some real offense. Shout out Paul Albertson. What do you think Kyler Murray would look like when he comes back from his injury? I would, if it were up to me, I wouldn't play Kyler Murray this season. I think that you see how the team. Now it depends on how they look when he's not in. Do they win a couple of those games and some things happen, and then Kyler Murray comes back? You think possibly you could get a wild card? I don't know. With Kyler Murray, he doesn't have great weapons right now. They traded DeAndre Hopkins. They drafted Paris Johnson. It's not this year. He won't look great this year. He won't. He's a good player, though. I think that a lot of people writing him off. He's a good player, but he won't look good on the Cardinals team. Horrible. Yeah. Sanchez, the real question is what the 49ers plan with trade. He seems to. I want to say you trade him, but at the same time, first off, because you were down to the 4th string last year. So it's kind of like you want to keep as much quarterbacks as possible. But what would you get if you trade him, though? Because he hasn't shown much. So if anything, the plan may be he gets a lot of preseason reps, shows some good things on film, and then maybe you try to work a behind-the-scenes trade with him. I just don't know how much you could get for him. But he's still young, still a talented quarterback. So if I'm the 49ers, I'm trying to get everything I can get for Trey Lance. Shout out Steelers Nation Austria. Good day. What's up, man? Um, Quez got the comment. You think Campbell going to let the starters play more than? I don't know. I don't know. I would say no. Probably. It depends on how the drive looks, but I remember because Jared Goff had a preseason. I think it was either last year or the year before, but he only played one drive in the first game. So who knows, really? Honestly, though, with the Lions, I want to see the backups. I think there's some good backups in there, and really some guys who may have been getting first team reps, but you wanted like a Brian Branch, like a Tracy Walker. They're probably gonna get more reps than usual because you want to see who's the quote unquote firm starter for that team. Big time run. Shout out Darren James with the comment. Kyler Murray will be traded next season to the Seahawks. I don't see the Seahawks get for one. Okay, this is why I say no to that. I don't think he fits the culture in Seattle. I think Pete Carroll has a little bit of years left as far as a coach. I don't think he wants to make that move. I think he's riding with Geno Smith, and Geno Smith is actually playing good. So, and it's gonna take a lot to get Kyler Murray. I don't think they would do that, especially with that front office and Pete Carroll though. And they're putting together a drive right now. Big time run, 22 for the Houston Texans, making big time runs. Let me check out who this is. Is that Mike Boone? Yeah, Mike Boone. 6th year running back for the Texans. Making some big time runs, running through arm tackles. Shout out Darren Chambers. If Geno retires, I think we'll probably see 3 or 4 more years out of Geno Smith. I would say. What is Geno about? 30, 33? Maybe with Geno Smith or 30. Yes, probably about 33. Who's that? Oh, he don't got no gloves on, no accessories. He just got on a short sleeve compression. He a dog. Number 70. Who's that? Yeah, he's a dog. No accessories, defensive tackle. We kind of know we know what that means. Who is that though? For the Patriots. Jeremiah Farms. Second year with him. So let's update this. 2nd and 7. Play action boot. Good throw. Fumble. Out of bounds. Is that a catch? I think he got a step after that. That might be a catch. Tank Dell still on the field. We seeing Tank Dell get a lot of reps, and I think deservedly so. Update this banner. 9:09 left in the second. We're not seeing no offensive explosions, no scoring. Hopefully, it's early. It's early. I don't think it'll be like this all preseason. Shout out Trey Simmons. Browns should have a playoff run, at least wild card this year. Big team to watch. They gotta pass the Steelers though. Another run. Good run. So they're getting close to the red zone for the Texans. Trying to put a drive together. Good play 19. Yep, I agree. Like I said, it's some good plays being made, but not any explosive plays as far as points resulting in the board. We saw the one pick, but outside of that, not a lot of explosive picks. Steelers Nation Australia. How did Stroud look? Stroud looked unsettled. I don't think had one completion to the sideline to Nico Collins, but it's not much good things I can say about CJ Stroud. Like I said, I'm not saying he's a bad player, but tonight he looked unsettled, had a rough night. Fumble. That's Patriots ball. Fumble by the running back. Mike Boone just was talking. Oh, let me check the number. Oh, that's 33. 33. Who was 33 for the? But a fumble. But getting back to your point, yeah, Stroud, he looked unsettled on the night, threw a pick, had a 3-and-out after that. They got him up out of there after that. So Steelers got the North on lock. Yeah. People are counting out defense and what Mike Tomlin means. Yeah. It's nowhere you are counting Kenny Two Gloves. Say what you want about Kenny Pickett in the second half of the season, once he was fully the starter, after Mitch Trubisky, that project was kind of over. Kenny Pickett got better game by game. So For the 49ers, I mean, you want to say Brock Purdy is that guy. If you want to say Brock Purdy is that guy, you kind of got to give Kenny Pickett his props. I'm a Raider fan. Shout out Chris Jones Harris. I'm a Raiders fan. We need quarterback, especially for the future. I agree. I agree. And with Jimmy G, see the thing about Jimmy G, he's not a bad quarterback. He's really not. But is he gonna stay healthy for that team? So it's some good quarterbacks in college. You have to think what is the plan for the Raiders this season? I think they added some players, some pretty solid players they have on the team, but with Jimmy G, they're always going to be wanting more. So will this be the year they kind of pull the trigger on a quarterback in the draft? I think yes. I think yes. I would say it's about 4 quarterbacks that I right now off the top of my head that I have first round grades on. So you know the season changes everything for these quarterbacks, but right now it is a good quarterback class. KP8 got better than I agree. I agree. He's been putting in the work and he has a receiving core to work with. So Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Calvin Austin getting back healthy, Allen Robinson. Some pretty good things to work with. Shout out Set 42. Yo, love the content, bro. Subscribe. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. This is something that we're going to start doing consistently. Live streaming these games, just watching good football and talking about everything. Really talking about everything. So, welcome to the family. Paul Albertson. I know it's still early, but I think Bryce Young is better than CJ Stroud. If I had to say, um, I think he was better than Stroud in college. Of course, we can't say the NFL things right now, but I think as far as in college, what I know already, Bryce Young is my guy over CJ Stroud. Absolutely. Everybody hit the like button. Absolutely. Shout out 843 ENT. Everybody hit the like button, subscribe. Coming out with more content. Dropping some videos tomorrow. We're live streaming the Giants versus Lions tomorrow, but we're dropping some videos about things for certain teams to watch in the preseason. Trey Simmons. Zappy still in the game. Completion of Thornton. Thornton making some plays. You have to wonder, will he be an impact player for the team this year? The 49ers offense was set to expose the QB, so Jimmy wasn't protected a lot. The Raiders have a lot. The Raiders have a better offense protecting the QB, so I see Jimmy staying healthy for a while. Yeah, you can say that because really with the 49ers, they get their quarterback on the move a lot. So some of those hits that he was taking, he won't be doing that same thing in Las Vegas because looking at the pro style offense for the Raiders, especially with Josh McDaniels, it's a lot of drop back, not a lot of on the move. He was a guy that worked with the Patriots, so kind of envision that same thing, that same type of offense. Kind of what we see with Mac Jones. Mac Jones doesn't run at all unless he has to. Chris Jones Harris. We have sleeper wide receiver core Raiders. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think Michael Mayer, that's the guy that I'm watching. I don't know if you count him in really receiver core, but one of the better tight ends. I think that for Jimmy G, how he loves tight ends, he's going to be a problem. And Devontae Adams as well. How did I not even name Devontae Adams? Hopefully he can stay happy there, though, so they can keep him. Bailey Zappi getting out the pocket, throw away. It's defense. It's defense all day. Like I said. Shout out Set 42. Mac Jones to me is not a long-term quarterback for the Patriots, in my opinion. I'm thinking about my answer with that one. I think that he is. I think that it depends on what we say because is he Joe Burrow? No. Is he Patrick Mahomes? No. But he's a guy that if he has all of those players, he could be the best. He could be the point guard. Like we said, with quarterbacks should be the point guard. He could be the point guard. Think about the Alabama receiving course he's had. So if he has the weapons, he's accurate. He can make the reads. He's a very smart football player. Now you question, will he be a guy who, if we don't have the weapons, if we struggle to put that around him, will he ever be able to elevate receivers? I don't know just yet. I don't know just yet with that answer. Shout out Chris Jones Harris. I can't wait to see Tyree Wilson on the field between him and Max Crosby. Absolutely. I was surprised when they took Tyree Wilson because I thought Christian Gonzalez maybe could have been the pick. Devon Witherspoon was a name, but Seattle, they threw everybody off. I absolutely think that when they took Devon Witherspoon at 5, he was my best corner on the board, but they took him at 5. I was surprised. So you got Tyree Wilson, a very good player. I think more kind of a developmental player right now, but he has all the tools, like we say with these defensive ends. So, and you're learning from two of the best. Chandler Jones, I think a Hall of Famer. Max Crosby, one of the best in the game right now. So he's learning from those guys, and that's gonna help him. That's gonna help him. How do you think CJ Stroud would do against defense week 1? Will he be overwhelmed? Let me check out. Let me check out who they play week 1. Let me check out who the Texans play week 1. Week 1. Oh, whew. They play the Baltimore Ravens. Yep. I would have to say he will be overwhelmed. And that's not even saying that he's going to struggle, even though I think that it's still a maturation process for him. But the Ravens, that defense, top 10. It's certain defenses I could just say top 10 out the back of my head. They're going to be a top 10 defense. Roquan Smith, Kyle Hamilton, Marlon Humphrey. I believe they got Rock Yassin. I think if I'm not mistaken, I saw something about a Rock Yassin injury, but some of the players on that team, defensive line still being there. So that defense is always going to be feisty. And then he's going to have to keep up. Not even if he's just going to have a defense coming after him. You got to keep up with Lamar Jackson. You got to keep up with Odell, Zay Flowers, all the juice they have. He's going to be overwhelmed with that game. Shout out Tristan. Matt Jones won't be a long-term QB. He'll turn as another AJ McCarron. The better QBs from Bama are more mobile and less pocket. Hopefully Bill B can keep him around. The Ravens have a I don't know. See, I believe in Mac Jones. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I still happen to be proven wrong, but I still believe in Mac Jones. Even though he's not mobile like you said, I think that with the weapons around him, they have a running game, they have a defense. He'll be a great quarterback. He won't lose them a game. He may not win them a game, but he won't lose them a game. And the Ravens have a lot to prove. I agree. Shout out Chris Jones Harris. Who is your defensive player of the year prediction? This might be a hot take, but I don't think so. Matt, that's not a hot take. The only thing I would say, Davis Mills from the pocket, good completion. Is that Tank Dell? Yeah, Tank Dell making a big catch across the middle. But I think that my defensive player of the year, that's not a hot take. Touching on your comment, that's not a hot take. But will they have the record? And you kind of understand that doesn't necessarily matter. But for the media, for everybody, they want a player who's winning, the best defense, the best player. It kind of goes like the 49ers had a good record, were a good team. And Nick Bosa, he was the best player on a good team. So it's one thing. I would say Micah Parsons, though. For my answer, I would say Micah Parsons. Or maybe TJ Watt. I would say it's an edge rusher, though. Sauce Gardner's trying to get it, but I don't know. I don't know if a corner can get it. Looks like we got an injury on the field. Can't see his number right now. Nick Bosa, yeah. He probably will be one of those guys that does have the chance to win it back to back. I agree. Trying to see who this is on the ground right now. I can't see his number. A defensive lineman for the Patriots. It's still a defensive game. Like I said, Tank Dell has made some catches. Nico Collins had a catch. Tyquan Thornton for the Patriots has been, I would say, the best offensive player outside of the running backs. He's done some nice things. A guy who runs forward too. So you ever wonder if he could put it together? They drafted him pretty high for a reason. This is what we have right now on the score. So we got injury right now on the field. Who are you guys most excited to see in the preseason? Or what is your biggest preseason storyline? Carl Davis Jr. is the defensive lineman who is down. 9th year for him. It doesn't look like a big time injury though. A little limp. It's funny because all of this, it could just be a cramp. it could just be a cramp on the field. When you have a cramp, you're supposed to go down. So it could be that for him. Second quarter, 6 minutes left. Davis Mills, 2nd and 7. Gotta see what we have from the pocket right here. Gotta get back. So 5 minutes left right now. Davis Mills under the center. Full back in. Run. This is a run play. Play action. Good ball. Oh, that's a drop from number 47, Beck, for the Houston Texans. Let me check out who that is. Beck. That was a good play call. Andrew Beck, the fullback for the Texans, had a drop. Let me update this right here. Get to this comment. Our rookie cornerback is starting for us. Jacorian Bennett is a sleeper in the 4th round, but I want to see him play good in preseason, not just practice. Yeah, that I agree with that because I want to see you compete in the preseason. Practice is nice. I love the training camp updates, and I love reporting about training camp myself, but it's preseason for me. I have to absolutely agree. Jacorian Bennett, that's the corner out of Maryland. I think he also ran, if I'm not mistaken, he ran low 4.3 or maybe even 4.2. But he was along with Deontay Banks in that secondary. So he's a good player. 5 minutes. 1st and 10. New England's ball. I want to see Darren Waller effect on Daniel Jones and Saquon. Like I said, I think if he's healthy, it's going to be a tremendous effect, especially for that offense. Mike Kafka, what he's been known to do, what he's been around with the tight ends coming from the Kansas City Chiefs, it's going to be one of those things. If he can stay healthy, I see another bounce back season where he's a top 3 to 5 tight end in the game. A run. So we're almost getting a halftime for these guys. Almost getting into halftime. And it's still 3-0. Still 3-0 for these guys. So it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough right now. 2nd and 9, Bailey Zappi. He's been getting a lot of snaps for New England. He's actually gotten all the snaps for New England. He actually got all the snaps. Mac Jones did not start. Like I said, you have to wonder with Bailey Zappi, will he ever be a guy who gets a chance to come into another team where he has a wide open slate and become a starter? I don't think he's going to start over Mac Jones, but on another team is something we have to consider. Something we absolutely have to consider. Right now, from the gun. So this looks like man coverage. Yeah, man coverage. Got to make a throw. Sack. Who's that? 2 people on the sack right there. 50 and another interior defensive lineman. Defense is getting after it. Now, I don't know if this will translate to the regular season because the Texans defense, they do have some pieces. They brought in D'Amico Ryans. I can't just say that they won't have a good defense because he is a great defensive mind. So I do want to add that in there to say about the defense. Yeah, we're about getting into halftime here now. City, so almost fumbled the punt. Oh, that's Tank Dell returning. Pretty solid return. Not too much on the return. 3 minutes left. Almost in the halftime, and it's still 3-0. It's one of those sleepers, one of those sleeper games. But it's still some good things to take away from this game, though, and to see all defensively from these teams. So that's one thing I see. Mac Jones, he's on the clipboard. He suited up, but he did not play. I knew he wasn't going to play, though. This is what we have right now. 2nd quarter. Davis Mills from the pocket, empty formation. Good dump off. Tank Dell earning himself a film breakdown. And really already knew the type of player he was, but I think the question was that because he dropped in the draft, he's not the biggest guy once again. And he's extremely fast, but he ran 4.4. So you wonder, doesn't have the size, ran 4.4. And I think some teams, they get caught up in stuff like that. You see the football speed is there. The football speed looks like a 4.3, but did not run 4.3 in the 40. So I think that was one of the things that kind of knocked him down. Even with Jalen Hyatt, a very fast guy, but did not run the 40 time people expected. Good run. Stumbling on up to the outside. Good run. This is the same running back who had the fumble earlier. Um, check him out. So that's Dare Ogun Bawali, Ogun Ball for the Houston Texans running back right there. You gotta wonder if some points going to be put on the board getting to this getting to halftime. Will it happen? But yeah, like I said, the biggest thing I would say right now, Tyquan Thornton having a great game, CJ Stroud unsettled, and probably gonna talk about some of those things maybe in a video, but I think with the film, some things I want to look at with CJ Stroud. But like I said, I'm not too worried though. Not too worried. It's still early. And the defense was really getting after it. It's not like the offensive line gave him any help. So with Titus Howard, with Laramie Tunsil's, with those guys, he's going to have a better opportunity to make his progressions. He's going to be better with those guys. So that's one thing I'll say based on the CJ Stroud debut that we saw so far. And you want to see in practice, well, not I wouldn't say in practice. You want to see in the next preseason game, how does he build on that? Does he get more snaps? Does he look better? Those types of questions that you gotta have. What you got? Like, what is the? I would say my question is CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. I think is the biggest question we have right now. And Bryce Young, I believe they play Saturday, so want to see how he looks. But against that Jets joint practice, like I said, you want to see preseason rather than practice. But he was making some very good passes against that defense. Now, Sauce Gardner did not participate in that practice. You wonder will that change some things? But it's just something we have to see early on in the all-season program. Excuse me. So yeah, we're right now trying to see if we can get a drive going to put points on the board before we get into halftime. Like I said, offensively, it's been nothing. It's been nothing. Shout out Areen Ortiz, Bryce Young all the way. That's fair. I think he has a better structure around him as well though. That I would add for Bryce Young. A really good quarterback. Like I said, I got out there and got to go see him. So everything that he could do and what he's going to be able to do, very good. Very good. So I have to agree with Bryce Young. Shout out SCN. I don't think either one will have a big season. Yeah, I don't think that. I wouldn't say that because Bryce Young will have a better season than CJ Stroud. That's not me saying that Bryce Young is just going to light up the entire NFL, but I do think he'll have a pretty solid season. CJ Stroud may see some early rookie struggles. They're both going to see rookie struggles, but Bryce Young may catch on earlier due to all of the things that he has working for him. He doesn't struggle with pressure, even because we say his size, but he does not struggle with pressure at all. Very calm in the pocket, can improvise, can make throws on the run. So I feel very good about that. So now we're back in here. About 2 minutes left in the game. Still first half, and I think the biggest storyline, I'm not seeing much things right now, but I know what I'm going to see is that CJ Stroud struggled. That's going to be everyone's storyline because it's Thursday, so Friday still going to have a lot of TV networks and things talking about CJ Stroud. 2 minutes left. Mills, first down. They're in opponent territory, so they're trying to put a drive together. Like I said, Davis Mills is not looking bad. He's not bad, really, but CJ Stroud is their guy. Pretty good coaching staff over there in Houston, bringing in D'Amico. Now they're showing some boots. That's the type of boots we ran during our coaching performance. Looks like man coverage, run play. The steal of this year is Aiden O'Connell. He would be amazing. He has amazing wide receiver core. Yep. Yep. I agree. I agree. And I've been hearing a lot about Aiden O'Connell. My question for you, Raiders guy, do you think that Aiden O'Connell by the end of the season will he overtake Jimmy G? And that's not to say Jimmy G plays terrible, Aiden O'Connell comes in, but that's to say Jimmy G hypothetically gets hurt. Does Aiden O'Connell come in and never look back? I think that's a real possibility. He's a pretty solid quarterback. Shout out SC in the comment. Lack of talent for both teams will hurt them. Will hurt them. They're used to have them all. Yeah, I agree. Especially with Alabama. Even Ohio State, Marvin Harrison Jr., he's going to be a top 3 pick. He's going to be a top 3 pick as a wide receiver. Him, Brock Bowers. This draft class is going to be way better than this one, in my opinion. Okay, I hope so. Yeah, I think that's a real possibility you have to look at with the Raiders. So they ran the clock down. So my guess is now they're just trying to go into halftime. 25 seconds left right now, but I think they're just trying to go into halftime with the game tied up, and then come out, let their other guys get some big time reps. 25 seconds left right now. Steve Belichick, linebackers coach, keeping it in the family. Keeping it in the family. And they showing these boots again. I do not know why they're showing these boots. I don't know if these boots are a great decision for this outing. 86 in motion. Tight splits. Zone coverage. Mills. Tank Dell. They got to go for it here. Now they have the Houston Texans have 2 timeouts. They got to go for it here. Go for scoring. Jimmy G always gets hurt. I agree. It's been every team as well. You know, Patriots, San Francisco. Now, hopefully he doesn't get hurt, but that's what the track record says. Shout out Chris Jones Harris. You have a great future, Texans. My favorite player on your team on your time is Damian Pierce, running back. I wish he, yeah. Damian Pierce is a great running back. Even in his rookie season, he caught that. Oh, it was out of bounds. But yeah, Damian Pierce, a very special running back for the Texans. I agree. So that's a fade. That's in. If I'm not mistaken, that's in. I might be mistaken. But if I'm not mistaken, Jalen Preacher. Yep. Jalen Preacher. Like I said, it's some good young pieces. Derek Stingley. Gotta remember him out of LSU. So thinking, what can he do this year? And with D'Amico Ryans, Will Anderson, it's some young pieces. It's gonna take some time to put it together as a team, but it's some young pieces there. I think this is a catch. Oh, so they actually did. Yep, they counted as a touchdown. Fade ball to Tank Dell. Caught it. Tank Dell. Let me look at his stats right here. Um, Box. Let me look at his stats. Because he has about 5 catches. Yeah, 5 catches, 65 yards, and a touchdown with a long of 24 yards. This is Tank Dell. Welcome to the NFL. This is your preseason. That was a crazy catch, but that's really just showing concentration to even think to even catch the ball. You're on your back, your legs probably about to go out of bounds, but you still go get the football. I feel really good about that catch. And like I said, a really good player. Touchdown about time. I agree. We haven't seen, and it's crazy because even the one touchdown we got, it it was, I wouldn't say it's a fluke, but it was kind of barely a touchdown, even though good catch by Tank Dell, but It's rough. It's rough right now, offensively. Good job for the defense, though. Shout out Chris Jones Harris. I think we should probably tank for Caleb Williams because we have a certain ceiling with Jimmy G. I'd rather win less than 4 games than we 7 or 8 and still don't make the playoffs. I agree. I agree with the thought process of what you're saying, but I want to think because Josh McDaniels on the hot. If they tank, a lot of people are going to leave. A lot of people are going to go. Devontae Adams may be unhappy. Some other players, maybe Josh Jacobs, even a guy he did not get that long term contract extension, but guys may get unhappy, and then I wonder, is that the risk you're willing to take because Caleb Williams is that guy? It doesn't matter. You just get him, then rebuild around him. That could be a possibility. But with the rosters constructed, I don't think you can tank and plug and play Caleb Williams. Great concentration. Yeah, I agree. Great concentration on the catch. Great concentration on the catch. And going through the stats right here, New England receiving Tyquan Thornton, 2 catches, 31 yards with a long of 27. That was that big time catch I talked about. Trey Nixon made some plays. Pierre Strong. Patriots really haven't gotten any. Their passing game has been pretty solid. Not really any explosive plays outside of the Tyquan Thornton catch. Houston, they're running the ball. They are running the ball. 17 rushes, 63 yards. They're probably gonna break 100 before the night's over. CJ Stroud, and I was talking about CJ Stroud. I forgot he also took that sack for 15 yards. But when talking about this, the question was, is he going to get over 63 yards? I believe that was his over or under, and he failed a lot of people tonight. But like I said, still early. Davis Mills looking pretty solid. 9 of 12, 99 yards, a touchdown. The offensive line blocking has gotten better. Like I said, coming from training camp to preseason, the intensity is different. So they really had to get adjusted. And I think now we're seeing better offensive line play. Houston receiving, like I said, Tank Dell, 5 catches, 65 yards, big time. Steven Sims, previously previously with the Washingtons. Don't know what their name would be, so I'll say the Washington. John Mechie did not catch John Mechie, but he got a catch for 5 yards. Probably in that first drive. I did not catch him though. So yeah. Defensively, Denzel Perryman, a veteran, Steven Nelson, a veteran. They're playing their veterans. Even Jalen Mills was out there. Will Anderson with the tackle. Probably gonna have to go back over the film to see what he did on the edge as far as like play-by-play pass rushing reps. Blake Cashman, another vet. They got a lot of veterans and they all played. That's that D'Amico Ryans effect. New England Patriots, Calvin Munson, Sean Wade, 3 tackles. Christian Gonzalez, 3 tackles. Quarterback hit for Keon. That's who that was off the edge. Keon White out of Georgia Tech. Got him a quarterback hit. Daniel Equale. So that's the statistical recap for halftime right now. Getting back, Devontae Adams gets traded before season is over. Yeah, like I said, I think if they hit their ceiling and they are kind of competitive, it's a tough division. Broncos, Chiefs, Chargers. It's a tough division, but if they are competitive, I don't see why he would be unhappy. Now, maybe you wonder if they just want to kind of do the selling thing and go get Caleb Williams or get Drake May, then yes, I could very possibly see that. So in the AFC, we got Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson, and Jimmy G is injury prone. We need a great quarterback. I agree. In talking about the secondary first, you're gonna need a secondary. I think you're trying to build a pass rush right now, like you alluded to. Chandler Jones, Tyree Wilson, Max Crosby, but secondary still has to get a bit better. And quarterback play. Quarterback play is gonna come down to that a lot. Because not only do you have to stop these guys, but understand that you can't stop every play. So you got to keep up as well. 7-3 right now. We at halftime. Tough game offensively for these teams, I would say. I'll show it up on a banner here. But yeah, again, recapping for anyone who did not see. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like the stream, subscribe to the channel, daily sports content, talking about it all. Um, but like I said, CJ Stroud, I really came in here expecting at least a big time drive. Did not see it though. Chris Jones Harris. I heard Devontae Adams wanted to retire as a Raider. Yeah, I think that Devontae Adams. Another thing is with his mindset as well. I don't see him as a big time ring chaser, and I don't see him as a guy who believes he has to play with the elite quarterbacks just to get it done. He said Aaron Rodgers, because he's not with Aaron Rodgers, that doesn't make or break him, and we kind of saw that. Even though I don't think he had a season that describes him as the best receiver in the NFL, I think he still had a good season. Had over 1,000 yards still with Jarrett Stidham's, Derek Carr's, so still was able to do that. So we went over a statistical recap. And really, again, if you haven't heard by now, we're live streaming again tomorrow. New York Giants versus the Detroit Lions live stream. Preseason watch radar. So who are you guys, with the preseason coming up? And I think this is kind of a question as well down below with the ticker. What are you most excited for this NFL season? Preseason is one thing. Training camp is one thing. But are there some players that you're specifically looking for in the preseason or in the NFL season in general? Because CJ Stroud, yeah, he got 2 drives, but in the NFL season, we still can be optimistic about the guy. Bryce Young, we still can be optimistic about the guy. So what are you most excited for in this NFL season, I would say is my question. At halftime right now. Chris Jones. Shout out Chris Jones Harris. Our linebacker. I know where this is going. Our linebacker core is probably one of the worst. Devine Diablo is our best linebacker. He got injured. He was one of the linebackers leading in tackles before his season injury last year, breakout year. I would say I have to agree. I think that what I see with a lot of teams, they're kind of taking a rock. Linebacker has been devalued to a bit. If you don't have a Fred Warner, if you don't have a Roquan Smith, a Tremaine Edmonds, it's kind of been devalued. So I'm seeing a lot of veterans get picked up. But if he can break out and get to a tier of like a guy like Logan Wilson, get on that second to close to third tier of linebackers for the Raiders, it's going to be pretty solid right there. I have to say that. How do you think Dak's season will go? How many picks will he throw? I think his season is going to go good, but I still think he's going to throw picks. If that makes sense, I think he throws for a lot of yards, of course, with the team they have. But Dak Prescott is going to throw picks unless he shows a new guy. But it's kind of, I believe it's year 8 right now for Dak. So how, of course, you're still constantly learning, but how better can you get? How much more will you change? I have to think he's probably stuck in his ways right now. Shout out Jacob on the Don. Chicago Bears guy, I could already recognize him. I'm looking at Gervon Dexter Sr. He's dominating in camp. Go Bears. I agree. And with him and Zach Pickens as well, just seeing how when the pads came on, you saw a different guy. And Gervon Dexter, I think, was a steal because, like I said, coming out of high school, he was one of the best players in the nation, regardless of position. So he got to Florida, did not dominate like the ranking in high school kind of prohibited. But I think with the NFL coaching, with some of the things around him, with the veterans in that room, maybe he can hit that ceiling that he was supposed to hit in college. You have to think it. And there's some things that happened at Florida. It was some things that happened at Florida. So that team, they had a lot of talent, but they never truly got to that next level, I would say. So Gervon Dexter, he's probably gonna make some big time plays in preseason. When is their preseason game? If I'm not mistaken, I think it's Sunday. And who do they play? Chicago Bears preseason. Chicago Bears preseason. So yeah, Sunday against the Titans. That's gonna be an interesting game, seriously, because the Titans, I mean, they got 37 quarterbacks. So you wonder who's gonna be that guy for them. I would have to say probably. And then the Chicago Bears having a lot of young talent, different types of things you wonder. So it's going to be interesting when talking about that team. Shout out Jacob Point. He's learning pass rush tips from Ngakwe too. Yeah, yeah. Yannick Ngakwe, one of the big moves. I dropped the video talking about that move and what he brings a pass rush. And I really when looking at the team, that's what was needed. I dropped a whole video with a film breakdown of their defense, and that was kind of what I left the video. I left the video with that as the point because it just wasn't there as far as rushing the passer. But I think this year, adding some guys getting better, bringing in Yannick Ngakwe, a proven pass rusher, I agree, and that will help Gervon Dexter. Shout out Chris Jones Harris. Who do you think we should draft and what position draft if the Raiders are good? Who do you think we should draft and what position draft if the Raiders are good? Um, I would probably say secondary, like you were talking about earlier. But then, of course, quarterback draft position, I would probably say a top 15 pick in 2024. Um, probably second off the top of my head, secondary quarterback. Now, there's some interesting guys coming out, so you have to wonder: will it be a player who's just so dominant, even with the position? You say forget positional value, you take the player. And one guy I could think of, Nick Singleton, running back for Penn State. We say running backs going away, but they're coming out of college. Shout out SCN, breakout player that's in year 2. Breakout player that's in year 2. I would say Drake London. Not a name that not a lot of people are talking about. Drake London in year 2. And then Kyle Pitts is going to be back. Desmond Ritter, still some things to wonder about him, but I think he's going to be a breakout player. A very good player. Shout out Chris Jones Harris. Do you think Anderson Jr. would be better than Aiden Hutchinson long term? I would have to say no. I don't think he would be better than Aiden Hutchinson long term. He's a very good player, but Aiden Hutchinson, and really one of my favorite players, but that's not why I'm saying that. I just think that what he brings into the team, everything he can do, because he's technically sound. It's not even just athleticism with Aiden Hutchinson, because he doesn't have freakishly long arms, and that's what you look for in pass rushers. So he's not a 4-4, he's not a 4-3, but technically in his get off, what he can do, he's one of them ones off the edge. I will say that he's one of them ones. So right now we're at halftime, waiting to get into the second half. And again, like I said, defense ruling the day so far. You guys come in, you can see this right here. This is what we have. Texans 7, Patriots 3 right now. So have to wonder, will the second half change anything? Will it? I don't know. I probably would say no, but still got to see. Shout out SCN. Will the Chargers make the playoffs? I want to say yes. Now, my I would say my AFC, I would go Kansas City. I think Kansas City and the Chargers. And then after that, it's kind of wait and see for me. But the Chargers still have some things to prove as well. Outside of the Chiefs, that division is going to be competitive. So I think they do make the playoffs, though. Quentin Johnson, an underrated pick. Him, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. It still got Austin Eckler, even though he wants to get paid. But now defense is going to be the big time question. Still got Khalil Mack. J.C. Jackson fully healthy. This is a guy they paid to be that number one corner, Mr. Interception himself. So Joey Bosa, I think they do. If they don't, new head coach for me. It's no discussing it. It's no debating it. If they don't make the playoffs, new head coach for me. Because it's been too much. It's been underwhelming too much up to this point from what I've saw. So that's one thing I'll say. Another interesting team that I think could possibly make the playoffs, though. I don't know what the route would be, but the Atlanta Falcons. I just look at some of the players and I think Bijan Robinson is going to be so good. So it's going to be hard, but if Bijan and Tyler Algier can run them to the playoffs, then I'd love to see it. Would you rather have chosen Tyree Wilson because of his potential or Will Anderson Jr., who has potential but I think Tyree Wilson has a higher potential. I agree, he does have a higher potential, and he has two great mentors to help him develop. Yeah, um, I would say now I have to think about the team when I answer this question because Will Anderson Jr. is just not a scheme fit to me for the Las Vegas Raiders. So bringing in Tyree Wilson kind of has the size profile like some of the guys you already have. Chandler Jones, I think that Will Anderson, you probably can compare him a little bit to Chandler, but seeing Max Crosby, and I think that now what they see is you get a guy Tyree Wilson opposite Max Crosby. Chandler Jones is getting a bit older, but he can rotate, still be a good piece. So I would take Tyree Wilson if it were up to me because I think that he has a little more scheme versatility and he'll be better against the run just because of his size and looking at what he did in college at Texas Tech. So I think the more intriguing edge prospect. Will Anderson Jr., he's no slouch, but is a prospect though. Is a prospect. That's the question. Is a prospect. So we're ready to get into the second half here. Third quarter started. I want to see who puts together a job. I also want to see who's on the football field. What we got right here. Bailey Zappi still getting snaps. He's played almost about almost about the whole game. Well, he has played the whole game, but is he going to play the whole game? Interesting so far. Patriots trying to make a run at something. Do you think Pats will draft another QB if they don't make the playoffs? Nah, I don't. Because they drafted Mac Jones so high, they're going to find every possible scenario. And I think, like I said, I'm a Mac Jones believer, but they're going to find every possible scenario to try to make it somebody else's fault before they go out on Mac Jones. Got an injury, got a guy down, number 66 on the offensive line, Cody Russey. And really, I just want to see some offense. Please, can I see some offense? I'm begging somebody to put a job together and some games to be won. Commercial break right here, right now. Yeah, seen a couple injuries, not too many big injuries. I wonder that when we get into some of the more, I would say, interesting games, you want to see guys stay healthy. That's what I would say because you never want to see the injuries, especially in preseason. So, how can guys get better while staying healthy and while getting better? Is the question that we have to ask. Bailey's happy though. Bailey's happy getting every single snap that he could possibly get today. He doesn't want to come out, but that's kind of what you want to see out of a guy though, especially a guy who has some things to prove. Like I said, will he be a guy who gets an opportunity on a different team? I don't see it here, but on a different team. I think Tyree Wilson would have gone higher, but he got it. Yep, absolutely. But he got injured. Team seems to think he has foot concern. He still hasn't played for us nor practice. I am hearing he might be on the field in 2 weeks. Yeah, that was a big part of it as well because he was top five projected. I seen him mocked to the Seahawks, even the Detroit Lions, different teams. And then the foot injury came out and he slid just a little bit. To add to that point, I was seeing steam that he was going to go higher than Will Anderson. And then the foot concern came out. So is the foot really as bad as some teams are thinking? I think that's the question you have to ask. But when he gets on the football field, he's going to be all right. He's going to be all right. Back to the field now. Gotta update this banner. We got right now, I believe we got around 12 minutes, third quarter. Oh, that's the offensive line coach with the boots on. Seeing that. He was their offensive line coach was the first player drafted by Bill Belichick is the head coach. That's crazy. So he, like I said, Bill Belichick keeps it in the family. Zappy. Why is Zappy like Mac Jones just now? 13-12 left. Third. Okay, so Jordan Mercier. Hello. What's up? What's up? Shout out 843 ENT. Top 5 defensive lines in the league. Okay. First, Philadelphia. Second, San Francisco. Third, this is a rough one off the top of my head thinking about it. Third, who gets after the quarterback? I want to say the Jets. I want to put the Jets in there. So that's 3. The Chiefs get after the quarterback. And I know you're probably saying what, but they were a top 10 sack team. They get after the quarterback, and a lot of that is predicated on Chris Jones, one of the best defensive tackles in the game. So they don't have the big time edge rushers, but they are a great defensive line. They get after the quarterback. Number 5. Number 5 is tough. Did I already say I said the Jets, I said the Chiefs, I said the 49ers and the Eagles. New England. I think New England has a very good defensive line as well. Like I said, I'm talking about defensive lines as far as units. I'm not talking about the best pass rushers and the best players, but as far as defensive lines, who can get after the quarterback with everybody hunting, those are my 5 teams. So I want Joe Milton the third from Tennessee quarterback or Quinn Myers. Quinn Myers or Quinn Ewers? With Joe Milton, he has the arm. I think he could probably throw a ball 80 yards just off the rip. Davis Mills with a completion. Ooh, big time hit. But yeah. I just think that I have to see more from him. And really what I see right now with him, it's a lot of having the physical traits, but I want to see more production. And this is going to be the year to do it for Joe Milton. Shout out Worth It Guy 23 1, 2, 3. In what order would you rank the 4 first round wide receivers? So okay. This is not my ranking, but I want to name off the guys so I can remember. It was Quentin Johnson, Jackson Smith, Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers. Okay, so first, Jackson Smith and Jigba. Second, Jordan Addison. Third, Zay Flowers. That was Zay Flowers. You can see the 3. Fourth, Quentin Johnson. That is what I would say. And they did not go in that order. I believe it was Jackson Smith first, Quentin second, Addison. No, maybe Addison. I'm getting those 2 mixed up. Either Addison or Zay Flowers went first. But those are my rankings for those guys. Big time throw. Who's the quarterbacking for these guys right now? You got stats up right here. Case Keenum. A Case Keenum appearance is something crazy at this point in his career. Offensive rookie of the year prediction. Who you got? I got Bijan. I got Bijan as well. I think they're gonna run the ball. They were second in rushing attempts. You add a running back in the top 10. That's not changing. They're probably gonna be first with the who runs the ball? The Baltimore Ravens, the Philadelphia Eagles. They're going to be up there, and he's going to get touches. He's going to also catch the ball. I don't see how outside of him in the NFC, Jackson Smith and Jigba, a guy we could add in there. Hot take Sam Laporta. Some guys. So Joe Milton, yeah, probably I would say Joe Milton is probably my Anthony Richardson right now. But Anthony Richardson, I think he's a little better than we give him credit for, and I want to see him in preseason as well. I think he's a tad bit better than what we've given him credit for up to this point. So right now, still third quarter. Oh, absolutely great comment right here. Reed 1294. Jahmyr Gibbs. Absolutely forgot about Jahmyr Gibbs. I definitely agree. Him, him and Bijan are gonna be going at it. And it's funny because you take Bijan top 10, and then you take Jahmyr Gibbs at 12. Rightfully so, they're gonna be going at it, of course. So that's gonna be a great matchup to watch. 9 minutes left in the third. Houston Texans trying to get something going. Case Keenum in right now for the Houston Texans. 2nd and 3. Driving, got a pretty good drive going right here, right now. Want to see another score. Want to see another score. But yeah, I definitely agree with Reed. Jahmyr Gibbs is in that conversation. Him and Bijan, my top two guys for offensive rookie of the year. Great throw. Is that Hutch? That's Hutch. Yep, that's Hutch. Hutch was in a run for the Bolitnikoff Award, and he just fell. He just fell. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, him and Tank. It's crazy because him and Tank Dell, they each had over 1,200 yards at receiver in college football. Shout out Chris Jones Harris. Michael Mayer has a case for rookie of the year because, yeah, yeah. You just have to think though, with some of the other guys, will the touches come to him in the passing game? Because I think he's a complete tight end. Out of all the guys, I think as far as blocking and catching, will he have the opportunities in the receiving game with all of the weapons they have around him? That would be my only question. But as far as the player, I like the player. Good coverage by Mosley. Houston in the red zone. Houston seems to be the only offense getting something going. Motion by the tight end. Run. So that was a run. Got him to the 1 yard line. 3rd and goal. Probably gonna run it again right here. Get in the end zone. I would expect that at least. I would expect that at least. Run play. I formation, fullback dive, touchdown. 14-3. Texans got something else on the board, man. Patriots having. Oh, if I'm the Patriots though, I don't feel bad because we've been playing good defensively. We've been trying at least, you know. Big time touchdown. Good job by Case Keenum. So you have to think that now they have CJ Stroud, they have Davis Mills, got Keenum. Pretty solid quarterback room with some experience in there as well. 720. Second 20. 7 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third. 14 Texans, Patriots 3. Tight ball game. Just don't know though. With what we've seen so far, will the Patriots have enough to really put some offensive drives together and make a run at this thing? I don't know if that's. I don't know. Shout out SCN. Jalen Hyatt, offensive rookie of the year. I think that with Jalen Hyatt, he's going to be productive, but I don't see him. I don't see him producing big time early though. I think that as the season goes on, then he starts to make plays consistently. So that may be the thing that when we know week one, Bijan is going to be the focal point of the offense. Jameer Gibbs is going to be a focal point of the offense. I think that's kind of the knock. Jalen Hyatt, while he is a good weapon, he's not the focal point in the offense. So that's the only thing I would say. It's really about touches when talking about these statistical and awards and rookie of the year, touches and opportunities. So we had another commercial break right here. Shout out Chris Jones Harris. My defensive rookie of the year is Tyree Wilson or Will Anderson Jr. Those are two very good picks. I think that for me personally, I would say my defensive player isn't one of those two guys. Seeing Tariq Woolen and Sauce Gardner, I think that now we may be shifting into a period where corners. Now, of course, that's rare that you even see two corners do that. But Devon Witherspoon, Christian Gonzalez, they have a good chance to do some of those same things that we saw with those two rookies last year. So I may ride with the corners. I may ride with the corners if it were up to me. But pass rush wins a lot of the times. Getting out of this commercial break right here. And this is a score we have. Like I said, tomorrow though, live streaming New York Giants, Detroit Lions. I'm expecting that because the starters, I don't think the starters have to play for an entertaining game. I think there's some talent around the team where it's still gonna be a pretty good game. And really with those teams, you're trying to see who's gonna make the roster with the 53-man roster. So interested in that, trying to see that. Something I'm looking at. Jalen Carter has a case. Yeah. See, the thing about Jalen Carter, though, and what a lot of people won't pay attention to, because he's an interior defensive lineman, he may not have double-digit sacks. But with that being said, he's still going to be dominant and productive for that team based on what they ask him to do. So he's going to have a good year, but what I say about these statistics and these accolades is so stat driven and it's so media driven. Who really wants to give all of the shine to the defensive tackle? That's a question. Darren Chambers saying I'm back. What's up, man? What's up, man? What are you looking for with the Chicago Bears in their preseason? Like I said, you told me about Gervon Dexter, an interesting player. I think some interesting things to look at with that team. So now we got kickoff. Houston Texans getting the football again. I mean, hopefully they can put a drive together. Right now, no, actually, the Patriots getting back on the football field. So we want to see can Bailey Zappi do it? Can he do it? Can he do it? Shout out Chris Jones Harris. Do you think he is a generational talent, Jalen Carter? Yes, I do. I do. I think that watching him on film, you couldn't block him. You couldn't block him. I mean, double teams, everything you tried to do, it didn't work. And of course, I think that he would have been a top 3 pick. Now we know with the pre-draft things that have happened with Jalen Carter, that kind of made him slide a bit. But talent wise, I see a generational talent. Shout out Darren Chambers. Darnell Wright to be good is what I'm looking for. I agree. I think that we pay so much attention to Justin Fields and everything he can do, but the question is Braxton Jones. He has to continue to develop. Darnell Wright, he has to continue to develop. Tevin Jenkins now playing guard. So those guys all have to gel, and that is interesting that you say that. So now they got a different quarterback in the game, Trace McSorley. Pass breakup by 38 for the Houston Texans. Pass breakup by 38. Like I said, I really want to see. I hope that if anything, the Texans can try their best, try to make this a game. The Patriots can try their best and try to make this a game. Looking at it, Trace McSorley in that quarterback, offensive line play, Texans looking like man coverage. It is man coverage. Pressure. Who's that? 70. That's a big time sack. There, Trace McSorley isn't on the cards. Nah, Trace McSorley's he's on the Patriots. He's on the Patriots. Shot SCN. Who wins the NFC West? NFC West. I believe that's. Let me fact check this division. I believe that's San Fran. That's the Seahawks. Yeah, that's the Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals, 49. I say Seahawks. No. Actually, I say 49ers. Seahawks are close second, though. I think the Seahawks are way, way better than people are giving them credit for. I have not heard enough Seahawks hype. I'm hearing hype for every team, but nothing about the Seahawks. Something is wrong with that to me. Looking at everything they added, Seahawks will be good, and they have a good head coach. Shout out Chris Jones Harris. I was mad we didn't pick Jalen Carter, but we have character issue. Yeah. I think that it was never, especially with what came out, it was never going to be in play for the Raiders to take Jalen Carter. But who knows? Who knows how to play out in the future? Maybe getting Tyree Wilson will pay off dividends, huge dividends. Titans record prediction. Um, Titans record prediction. I would say 9-8, 9-8, around 9 to 10 wins, maybe 11 at the most. Fighting with Jacksonville in that division. Now the Colts are my wild card. Before the Titans, I would say around 9, 9, 10. And see the thing about I said the Colts, the Titans, but see the thing about the Titans though, when we talk about that team, it's interesting because we know the defense is going to be good. That's one. We know Derrick Henry is going to be back. Derrick Henry does not have a history of getting injured. So that's not to say he's falling off a cliff. I don't believe that. Adding DeAndre Hopkins, a better move, and I've dropped a video about that, a better move than people give it credit for, because everyone sees DeAndre Hopkins. They say that, okay, was suspended last year. The Cardinals were terrible. That means he's terrible. That doesn't mean that. So I think they have some things working for them. Traylon Burks, hearing some good things about him. So a sneaky team, and Mike Vrabel, the best coach in that division. It's kind of close, him and Doug Peterson, but two great coaches. And I think that Mike Vrabel is he wins. Even when you think that he has a team that's not supposed to win, he continues to do it. So all the injuries they had last year, they were still getting some things done and almost made the playoffs though. Trace McSorley flushed out the pocket. Big time run. Did he extend for the first? Shout out Darren Chambers with the comment. I'm going to regret my predictions now besides the Darnell Mooney one. probably, especially the Aaron Donald trade to the Chargers. Probably. But it's just all predictions right now. We truly don't know what's going to happen. So, updating this banner right here. It's 13-3, 4 minutes left in the third quarter. The Patriots are about to punt the football back to the Houston Texans. So, it's still no offense for the Patriots. And like I said, I'm not paying too much attention to this as far as the regular season, but you got to wonder. Oh, they took 13-3, but you got to wonder, they take that approach is to, you don't have a true offensive coordinator. Now you got an offensive coordinator. Now kind of struggling so far what we're seeing in preseason. Will they struggle this year with Mac Jones? I wouldn't want to say that they will, but it's definitely something on the table. Cardinals need to take Marvin Harrison Jr., offensive lineman, not draft a quarterback. I agree. And there's some good offensive linemen. I think Fashanu, the tackle from Penn State, he was supposed to come out this year, but he stayed for his senior year. So that's a tackle that's probably gonna go. It's another tackle from Notre Dame. And he has a funny name, but it's another tackle there. So it's some good tackles, especially at the top. They can get one of those. Marvin Harrison Jr., like I said, one of the best players, if not probably the best player, regardless of position, coming out in the draft. So you get him, Kyler Murray, reincarnated. And this is what we have right here with the banner. This is our score right now. Trace McSorley just tried to make a big time play, but could not get to the sticks. So seeing that and looking at that, like I said, for the Patriots, it's been struggles. Offensively, it's been rough today, to say the least. It's been rough. Could there ever be a fantasy draft in the NFL like old man franchises? I wish. I'd probably say no, but I wish. I mean, if every team could just get shaken up and we see things like Patrick Mahomes on the Saints or something crazy, if we could get that, I'd be extremely happy. But it's hard to see the realism in that for the NFL. And I say that same thing with the NBA. If they just had an expansion draft and everybody was free, that would be crazy. Something I would love to see. At least for like a tournament, though, you have to wonder. Like the NBA brought in a mid-season tournament, if they could have a fantasy draft and just like guys, maybe I need to be the NBA commissioner. Maybe Adam Silver needs to hire me. But if they could just have guys in a fantasy draft for the tournament, and then like that would be crazy because it's understanding that the mid-season tournament does go towards records. So it's really the regular season. So I don't think we will see it just because of that reason. But if they could do it, I think it would be something special. I mean, you just imagine LeBron and Curry or like an all-star team, but in a tournament with real stakes, real things to play for, not the all-star game where guys are just running around. Case Keenum back on the football field. Good missed ball. 17. Have a wide receiver went number one in the draft before, and do you think it could have been Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase or Marvin Harrison Jr.? I don't believe a receiver has ever went number one. I think a receiver they went high, but number one, I don't believe. I would have to fact check that, or you guys can fact check it for me. Now, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, or Marvin Harrison Jr., I just simply don't believe in taking a receiver number one because it's a dependent position. Offensive lineman, I would take number one if he's that dude. If he's that dude, I would take him number one. Quarterback, of course. Why wouldn't you? Pass rusher, if he's that dude, yes. So those probably my only positions that I would take number one. Missed ball to Camp on the outside by Case Keenum. Still 14-3 though. Still 13-3 actually. 4 minutes left here now. Start your franchise with one player in the league. Who would it be? Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes. Offensively, I guess it's two answers to that because that's not really a fair answer to say. Patrick Mahomes offense, Myles Garrett defense. The Bengals drafted Jamar Chase and went to the Super Bowl. Yeah, but they had Joe Burrow as well, though. And they had T. Higgins, so that's a case. Shout out Reed1294 at the comment. Are you getting Madden 24? I want to say I'm gonna watch some more gameplay. I want to say yes. I mean, yes, long story short, but I will say that I want to wait and just kind of see the gameplay, see the new features. I'm really a guy when I play Madden 20, when I play Madden in general, I play franchise, and I think that franchise had I kind of like franchise on Madden 23, but I didn't like the fact that once you get to a certain point, all the bugs start to kick in and you can't even draft players anymore. And then once you get to a certain point, you have to retire. They force you to retire. You can't retire your coach. They force you to retire. So I didn't like that because me and one of my friends, we had a franchise with coaches. We got into like the 20th season. I mean, nobody that we see in the NFL now, it was all generated players, and we kind of built relationships with those players on the game, and then it was all gone in the blink of an eye because we got forced to retire. Did not like that at all, and they're probably not even going to change that. So 13-3, 2 minutes left in the third. 13-3, 2 minutes left in the third. Yep. Shout out Darren Chambers. You're wrong. Keyshawn Johnson was drafted number one in 94. Yep. I agree. Yeah, he definitely was. I definitely forgot about that. What team was that? If I want to say, did he not get drafted? Let me check. Let me fact check that myself. Did he not get drafted to the Jets? Keyshawn Johnson. Did he get drafted to the Jets? Did he get drafted to the 6'4"? He did get drafted to the Jets. So I was actually right about that one. And I don't want to say we see how that played out, but I think that if it was the decision they had to make again, they would regret that decision. They would regret that decision. Shout out Chris Jones Harris. We need a NBA top 100 players list video. I don't know why they don't do it. Yeah, I agree. I think that it would be interesting. I would definitely watch it. I watched the NFL one, so I don't see why not. Now it does take a lot of production to go into that, but NBA they're a $1 billion company. Why couldn't they do it? So why couldn't they do it? I would definitely love to see that. Definitely love to see that. I think that they could also do a video like a historic one. I think the NFL could probably do this as well. A historic top 100, like all time, but the way they do it now in the off season, but all time. It wouldn't be every year because, of course, it's not going to change every year, but just doing that for one time. Case Keenum with a great pass to the sideline. Who's our receiver? Backman, number 14 for the Texans. So they're trying. They're trying. Texans looking pretty smooth offensively. I would say that. Jets, yeah, he got drafted to the Jets. But like I said, if they had to do that again, would they do that? I think not, probably. I think not. He was a good player, though. It's just when it's a dependent position like that, I don't know. Punt by the Texans. Patriots. You on the clock again. Will they get it done this time? Probably not. But they gonna try, though. They gonna try. It's just been rough. It's been rough offensively from everything we've seen so far. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see right now. We're gonna see right now. Let's see what we got. Commercial break right now before we get back into it. But yeah, man, back to the CJ Stroud comment. It's just one of those days. One of those days. Shout out Darren Chambers. I hated Madden 16 franchises. I played as a QB because I don't have Xbox Live, and if I was a free agent for the whole offseason, yeah. I wish if he wasn't signed. Yeah, I don't get that because that just takes away from the game. Why would they force you to retire if they're trying to get you to play the game? And then you build a quarterback, you build that type of player, and now you got to start with a new quarterback. So hopefully NCAA, I've been hearing it for the past 5 years. They still haven't dropped the NCAA, but if they do, I think I'll be an NCAA guy more than a Madden guy. That's the type of thing I like because I had a franchise with Clemson. I went about 15 seasons in there. That was just one of those, like you said, didn't have couldn't play online, so you were just playing offline game modes, franchises, things like that, and that's what I did, and it was extremely fun. So one of the better things that I like to do. Trying to get out of this commercial break, and I just can't. I want to know what the narrative is going to be around CJ Stroud because I know so many talking points. There's going to be so many overreactions. Oh, CJ Stroud had a terrible day. Oh, CJ Stroud is a bust. He played 2 drives in a preseason game. But that's unfortunately how it is. And trying to get the clicks, trying to do different things, it just plays out that way. So like I said, I'm be interested to see though. I'm gonna keep my eye on it, and I may do my own talking about CJ Stroud. Or maybe I might do it with the film and talking about what led to some of these things. And like I said, it was only 2 drives, but it's still worth watching, still worth talking about. Defensive line getting after it. The Patriots. Oh, this is the kickoff, actually. So now they're about to start a drive. In the 80s and 90s, football was a running back game. And now it was more passing game. Running backs are being treated like trash. Just look at Josh Jacobs and many more. They don't get paid. I agree. And see, that's the crazy thing because it could also just shift back to that type of running back game. It could. Right now, it doesn't look like it, but it really could. If, like I said, for me, one of the running backs, they have to run a team to a championship and win it, all while staying healthy in that same season. And people may say, okay, if he's this good and he can get us a championship, let's try to replicate this somewhere else. I think that teams fall into the trap They're trying to replicate the Chiefs. They're trying to replicate the Bengals. But everybody's not the Chiefs and the Bengals. Everyone doesn't have that quarterback that can elevate weapons. So I I don't like the philosophy. I don't like the philosophy personally. I think that if you have good players, use your players and win the game with coaching. Remember what folks said about Victor? Yeah, yeah. It's some crazy narratives. And then Victor, he came out the next game, 20 something points, a lot of blocks, rebounds, double double. So I don't overreact. I do not overreact. In Madden 24, when I buy it, I won't. In Madden 24, when I buy it, I won't be a running back. In this year's superstar mode, they won't pay me like other positions. Yeah. And see, it's crazy because like seeing 2K, like they got VC, but in Madden, you could upgrade your player based off having good performances. But if it was VC and like you had an actual salary, people would definitely not be running backs because you're running for 3,000 yards, probably playing rookie mode if you just want to have fun and you're still not getting paid. So that'd be something crazy. I wouldn't do it either. I wouldn't do it either. Darren Chambers, I low key miss when you didn't have to have Game Pass or Xbox Live to play a career mode. Yeah, everything. It's really just a money thing. That's really all it is. If you want to play 2K career mode, you want to play Madden, certain things or the yard, you have to have plus or memberships to play online. It's a money thing. It really is. But I do miss when games were more simplified though, because they put more into the game. It's like now everything they try to cater everything to getting microtransactions and having everything online. And that's one thing I'll say, even with content creating, making videos, you try to do everything, you're gonna end up doing nothing. So 2K, they're trying to do everything with online and all these modes and all this. To play my career, you gotta be a rapper and you gotta be a fashion designer just to go into the arena play a my career game. It's crazy. That's the point we done got to. Shout out Chris Jones Harris, because every year there are good running backs in draft class. You can find one in any round. Yeah, it's crazy you say that because this draft class, it was deep with running backs and they did not go. They did not go. Some of them were priority free agents, undrafted free agents. I think a guy that I could easily point to, Dwayne McBride. And people are going to say Dwayne McBride, he got drafted to the Vikings. But people are going to say he he was a guy who did not show the ability to catch the football that much. That's not true. That's not why he didn't get drafted, should I say. It's just running backs, they don't care. Shout out Darren Chambers. I'm going to try Madden 24 mobile. I haven't played Madden 24, Madden Mobile 24 in a long time, just because it takes up so much space. And to play the game, you gotta have like energy, so you can only play a certain amount of games a day. So it kind of just got dried out to me. Sleeper team this season: Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville Jaguars, my sleeper team. I've been saying that for about a couple weeks now, and I firmly believe in it. With everything they have, the players they have, I don't see why not. Now we got the Patriots are backed up into their own end zone. Good ball. Didn't catch that. Didn't catch that. I hope Zeus Zamir White. I remember him out of Georgia. He was another guy who was great, but fell. Breakout for us. I don't think Josh Jacobs is probably coming back. He could be a guy though. He has the talent. If I'm not mistaken, he was a 5-star coming out of high school. So everything he can do, having that now, he will be a good player. So about to update the banner here. Still nothing from the Patriots offense. Still nothing. We're in the fourth quarter, 13-3. They're punting the football back to the Texans. Fourth quarter just started, so updating this right here so you can keep along. You probably see it right here with the screen share of what's going on, but we like to have the banner as well. No, that's wrong. That's what we have right here right now. We had a commercial break right now, but some pretty good questions that you guys have. Some good things that we're talking about. I think that, like I said, tomorrow we're gonna have another stream in here talking about the Lions versus the Giants, two teams in which I cover. Well, I cover really every team, but two teams which I have a couple of videos on. And it was interesting because if you've been following the channel, you probably know about my series What to Expect, where I do like a film breakdown, breaking down everything with the team on offense or defense. And I had a video for the New York Giants, and then I lost all the film. So I still did a breakdown talking about that team. So some of the things. And next year, next off season, I can say, okay, so we can talk about this right now. Next off season, I'm gonna have what to expect. So with training camp, I'm going to cover the training camps that I can get out to, but I'm going to have what to expect. That's the film breakdowns, basically talking about literally quote unquote what to expect. Gonna have that in the off season working. During draft season, I'm going to come out with, if I can, film breakdowns, but I'm going to come out with player rankings, my own mock drafts, and different types of things. I did some of those things similar, and then during the season, I already have a schedule kind of written out. So a lot of things we have as far as organization and content coming up. And today, like I said, right now, you see that we have this live stream, but we're gonna have a weekly live stream on Saturdays, and that's really previewing the games for the week and everything. And then on Sundays, depending on certain games, we're gonna be live streaming games, still live streaming games with the preseason right now. So do you think Damian Pierce is gonna be a top 10 running back next year and make the NFL top 100 list? I think so. Yes. Short answer, yes. Doesn't take a lot for me to answer that one. Damian Pierce he is really like an old school running back in my estimation because he runs nasty. It's not a lot. It's finesse to his game if it needs to, but it's not a lot of finesse. He wants to hit you in the mouth and truck you or run through you. So we're in the fourth quarter right here. 13 minutes left. Like I said, CJ Stroud, man, rough day. Rough day for the New England Patriots offense. Case Keenum came in pretty solid. Who was the other guy that came in? Case Keenum and Davis Mills. Yeah, those two guys show some good things. Will Davis Mills get a job on another team where he could possibly get back into a starting role? I think that's a question that I have. So, I want some things right now. Second and four. In the defense for the Patriots. I mean, they've been playing lights out, even though they gave up 13 points, but the offense really hasn't helped them at all. Defense for the Texans playing pretty solid as well. Play action boot. Bad ball. Pressure in his face, though. $12 minutes left. What preseason games are you guys most excited for? Because it may not be on my radar, but it may be a game I can add into the stream schedule. $13 to 3. 3rd and 4 for the Texans. 3rd and 4 in the gun. Shovel. First down. Good run. The running backs have looked pretty solid tonight. And it's crazy because I think every running back has almost looked good outside of Dare Ogunbowale. Outside of him, had a fumble, but outside of that, it doesn't make the point of saying running backs, deserve those top dollars. It doesn't make that point any better. Every team we've seen has been running back by committee, and of course, it's the preseason. You want to get a look at every running back, but in the regular season, I still think it's going to be running back by committee for a lot of teams. Another solid run. Shout out Chris Jones Harris. The 2024 quarterback class is deep. I am not stressed out, and there are always some players coming out of nowhere breaking out. I agree. That's what I say because, first off, the players that we already have on our radar, we talked about Caleb Williams and Drake May, another guy. But there's also some guys, Bo Nix's of the world, different types of quarterbacks who may fall off. And then there's guys who we don't even know right now who may come on. So it's good. There's going to always be a guy. And I think even if it's not a guy, they're going to make a guy. They're going to say, oh, he has all the traits. Draft him first round. They're going to make a guy. Good ball by Keenum. Like I said, this offense has been flowing pretty smoothly. It's been flowing pretty smoothly, man. Pretty smoothly. 13-3. 10 minutes left right now. And I think right now they're probably gonna try to get a score, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown, and just play defense, get the clock up out of here. At least that's what I think they should do. Probably about to score though. Empty set, man coverage, bobble pass, good breakup. Like Will Levis, yeah, yeah. Are you saying that Will Levis fell off? Or are you saying that he came out of nowhere? Probably I can answer that for you. I probably say that he fell off a bit because he had the hype going into the season. Then had the injuries on his team. Was injured himself. Guys graduating. It just wasn't the same. Shout out 843 ENT. What chance do you give Richardson to be better than Stroud and Young? I'll probably say a 30% chance off the top of my head. Touchdown. Who's that receiver? Touchdown for the Texans. Now we're looking at 20-3. But I'll probably say a 30% chance for Richardson because has the talent, has Shane Steichen. He's worked with Jalen Hurts. So everything coaching wise is set up for him there. But it's on him at the end of the day. So we're going to see. I'm not going to lie. I wanted Will Levis at 7th pick last year. Are you saying that? Are you saying that's during the draft that you wanted him at 7? Or are you saying before the season, before he kind of struggled during the college football season? When Tyree Wilson was still on the board, did you still want Will Levis? I guess that's the better question to ask you. Pages. 20-3. Like I said, I think tonight, I think tomorrow actually, tomorrow night's live stream, it's gonna be a lot more fireworks. It's gonna be Giants versus Lions. Two teams. The Lions coming in. And I don't know to what magnitude the starters will play, but like I said, both teams, well, I think some pretty deep players that will still give good looks, even though it's not the starters. So 9:52. So we're currently 9 minutes left in the fourth. Don't forget to like the stream, subscribe if you're new and you're just checking us out, watching the game, tuning in. Like I said, we're about to consistently start streaming. We already dropped videos discussing different things, film breakdowns, different sports. So 24-hour sports, always working. That's not right. All right, that's right. So yeah, you can see it. It's kind of one of those games. We're at a commercial break right now, waiting to get back in here. I saw something talking about Jalen Carter's talent is causing offensive linemen in practice to game plan for him. I don't think that's true. Because how can you game plan for somebody in practice? You don't that's not typically how practice works. So I think it's really some crazy stuff right there. Before the draft, because we had Jarrett Stidham, he went to the Broncos, and I wanted him to learn behind Jimmy. That's fair. That's fair. And really, I don't think that the Raiders really wanted him because he slipped into the second round. So if they truly did want him, they probably could have traded back up. But also, that takes some draft capital to do that. And you got Jimmy G, you paid him a little bit. So how much sense does that make? But if you really, really were sold on Will Levis, probably could have traded back up and got him before the Titans did. So that's something interesting there. But yeah, man. Once again, to reiterate, and I want to see how Bryce Young looks because We saw CJ Stroud. So want to see, can Bryce Young really be that guy and step it up some as far as in the preseason. Still early for some of these guys, but I got my eyes on it right here. Looking at some position battles. Like I said, Pierre Strong Jr., the Patriots will run the football. They will have a good defense, but will they be a team that's dominant in a playoff contender? That's kind of where that's kind of where my takes in right there with those guys. Got two comments. Shout out SCN. How many wins for the Browns? I'll probably say, I'll probably say, realistically, for me, it would have to be around 9 to 10 because I kind of look at the NFC East and how those teams, how the Washington Commanders, how they had about 8 wins. So, so one team is going to fall off and one team is going to have 7 to 8 wins at the bottom of the division. It's a competitive division, but the Browns will be in the thick of things with around 9 to 10 wins. AR-15, yeah. Anthony Richardson hype is real, and I believe he's going to be the starter for Game 1. So, like I said, if Anthony Richardson is anything close to what he can be, something we've never seen it. Anthony Richardson, Cam Newton was not Anthony Richardson. Or Anthony Richardson, you could go either way with that. But saying that, I don't see the same player. I think we see a big guy who can run. You say Cam Newton, but I think Anthony Richardson is a little different, especially with the arm talent. And Cam Newton had arm talent, but his mechanics were his mechanics were a little funny. We got Max Crosby and Marcus Peters. We just need more dogs next year. I'll draft all defensive. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that at all. I agree. I agree. Just adding more dogs to the defense. Like I said, I think you have a foundation offensively, and now it's about continue to add some things with certain pieces on the offensive line and trying to find that quarterback who's going to be the guy for that team. But foundationally, it's something being built right there. So we got the Patriots. Patriots don't got no heart in them no more. Whew. Look at Bill Belichick. Yeah, it's a long day. It's a long day. You look stressed. You should be. You should be. Got to get back to that practice field, man. And I would say the best thing that I saw out of the Patriots so far in this game, offense was completely terrible. But defensively, when they had Jalen Mills and they had some of their other starters in, they looked really good defensively. So getting those guys a drive, that's the best thing I say right now. Malik Cunningham is in the game for the New England Patriots. Out of Louisville, if I'm not mistaken. Extreme athleticism. It's kind of crazy because I think about Malik Cunningham and I think about Malik Willis and just how it hasn't been able to transition to the next level, but still good guys. You know, I'm rooting for him. Second down. 6 minutes left in the game. 6 minutes left in the game right now. So it's been interesting. We've been live for 2 minutes. I said 2 minutes. We've been live for 2 hours. So yeah. This is our current score right now. What we have. Texans feeling pretty good. Like I said, a young team. Don't know how competitive they'll be in the South this year, but still doing some good things. Still doing some good things. It's preseason. We don't want to jump too far ahead. I like what I've seen, especially defensively. Like I said, some of that is their defense, some of that is the Patriots' offense not clicking. But I think that it is a new system because you finally have a real offensive coordinator. So it's gonna take some time to get adjusted to that. We got second and long right here, right now. Let's see what the Patriots do. flag on the play. So, and like I said, once we get to the regular season, it's about to be crazy. Once we get to the regular season, live streaming the games and everything that's going on, everything we talking about, I can't wait. So I cannot wait. Lee Cunningham getting flushed out. It's just been a tough day, man. I wonder what the message is offensively. I wonder what the message is after a day like this. You get back into practice. How do they feel? How do they feel? Tank Dell. And I'm wondering with Tank Dell, with some of the other players, who would I transition to for the film? I think that's a question I have. Got another comment here. Shout out Reed 1294. Really excited to see how the Lions are going to do this season. Yeah, man. Come back tomorrow. We're going to live stream the game versus the Giants. And like I said, two teams in which I've done in-depth breakdowns on. So I really know a lot of what's going on. Know a lot of those players. That is going to be exciting. Hopefully, it will be an exciting game. And I think that's going to be more offense than what we see tonight. I think it's going to be more competitive than what we're seeing right now. So that is definitely something to tune in for your Lions. Shout out to Chris Jones Harris. Who is your Super Bowl prediction? For me, it's Dallas Cowboys versus Buffalo Bills, and I got Dallas Cowboys winning it all this year. Um, whoa, I just had to double check what I just read. The Dallas Cowboys. That's pretty tough. I think that one thing I'll say with the Dallas Cowboys, they have the roster. They have the roster. I mean, top to bottom. Offensive line depth with injuries would be a concern, but they have the talent. It's all there. It depends on Dak Prescott. For me, I would go Philadelphia Eagles. I want to go San Francisco 49ers, and I have went them before. But I think that when I talk about that, it depends on the quarterback play, and I know the quarterback play I'm gonna get from Jalen Hurts. So I have to go. I have to go with them in your comment with the Philadelphia Eagles. For the AFC, I'm going Miami Dolphins. I'm going Miami Dolphins. I have to. The Miami Dolphins are a very special team. I remember the team before Tua got hurt. That's the biggest thing I say. And you probably say, look at what you said. Key word before Tua got hurt. He's going to get hurt again. I got to see it first. Patriots almost got a touchdown. Missed the throw. It's been that type of night, man. It's been that type of night. It's been that type of night. Oh, I will be. Can't wait to see you there. Can't wait to see you there. Did you check out? I also have a video talking about before we get to this stream. You could probably say, checking that out. With I have 5 things to watch in the Detroit Lions preseason, so you could check that out. And that's something I talked about for tomorrow's game. Patriots offense no good. I agree. Are you going to cover more teams? Yes. Right now, the biggest thing is that certain teams within the offseason, like hypothetically, if I talk about a certain team like the New Orleans Saints or like the Baltimore Ravens, certain teams, it's just not. We want to see some things, and like I said, it's not a lot of rookie and up and coming talent on certain teams. So with teams that have a lot of rookie and up and coming talent, you want to look at them more. But when the season comes, we're going to get to the point where now covering the biggest. So if it's an explosive game, film breakdown on that game. If it's something certain that happens, big time trade, everything is going to be everything that you think is important that you see in the news. You say, man, I got to see a video on this. I'll have a video on it. That's my best answer for you. If you see that Odell Beckham has research and goes for 1,000 yards, I'm gonna have a film breakdown on him. If you see that Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions are dominating, film breakdown on him. If you see that anything that's impactful in news, that's anything that's going on, we're gonna be there. So you come to YouTube, check out this channel, you'll see it. I said that's one thing I will say, that I don't cover a certain team. I just cover everything that I can. That's good. So right now, I think I have probably a video on about um I would say at least 20 out of the 32 teams in the NFL. Probably have a video about 20. Yeah. So look at Bill O'Brien. You and Bill Belichick need to do some soul searching tonight. 2 minutes left right here in the game. It's still nothing offensively. And it's funny because the only thing they got offensively was off the CJ Stroud pick. So terrible, terrible night. Do you do any video on the Raiders? I have I know for sure in the back of my head I have a video on the Raiders. I have a couple, but the one that I know that I have for sure, I did a film breakdown on the game with Jarrett Stidham and Brock Purdy. I did a film breakdown because it was like 500 yards of total offense. You're a Raiders fan, you remember that game. So yeah, that game against him, Devontae Adams had some big time plays. Jarrett Stidham looked like he was going to be the next answer, and then he kind of fell off as the season progressed. But I did a film breakdown on that game, so you can probably check that out after this one, talking about the Raiders. Yeah, and I think I did some videos talking about. I think I did a video talking about Tom Brady before he's done. He's retired now, hopefully. But I did a video talking about that with the Raiders. So yeah. So yeah. Think the Pat's growing his job. Hopefully. Hopefully. That's all we can say at this point. I can't guarantee anything with Bill O'Brien and what's going on today. I can't guarantee anything. Get this back over here. This is what we have right now. One-sided game. One-sided game. So yeah. And in Saturdays, see, probably what I'm gonna do is that I haven't decided which game I will be live streaming for Saturday, but for Saturday, we're probably gonna look at it and say, okay, I gotta find the game for Saturday. If you guys know any games that are happening Saturday for the stream, because like I said, Saturday is the weekly stream. What you're seeing right now and these other preseason games that we're streaming, this is additional, but something we're going to continue to do. I heard we dominate the 49ers today in the scrimmage. Probably did. I'm gonna read up on that. So probably a joint, yeah, one of the joint practices. I think I did see that actually. Did not hear as much news out of the practice though. So like I said, I've heard some things. I'm not sure. Somebody in the stream said it. How did Brock Purdy look? Did the defense get after him today? I wonder if the defense got after him today. Bill Belichick, that guy. Mama, there goes that man. 20-3, 2 minutes left. 2 minute warning. It's crazy. With the Panthers, will they ever get back to a Super Bowl team? I think you have to say eventually yes, but it's kind of crazy. It's been a rough transition period, but of course that's to be expected. I think they'll try to do something. Shout out Chris Jones Harris. We play against the 49ers on Sunday. Okay. Okay. Play against them. Okay. That's an interesting game. That is a very interesting game that I talk about because, like you said, Aiden O'Connell, but really for the 49ers, those quarterbacks, they trying to figure that out. So a lot of things going on there. Again, some of the defensive pieces that you talked about. Of course, we're expecting Tyree Wilson to not play. Will he play any in the preseason? I know he's not gonna play. No, he's not gonna play Sunday, but will he play any in the preseason? No, they won't. Kicking it with clout. No, what are you saying? What are you saying? No, they want to. What are you saying? No, they want to. I mean, don't come here and say no, they won't, and then don't respond. got a allergic, got some allergic giant syndrome in the chat. Panthers to be a Super Bowl team again. That's fair. That's fair. I was actually talking. I think if that's not a typo, I was talking about the Patriots. But for the Panthers as well, will they get back to the Super Bowl? I think with Bryce Young, they'll get there eventually. But Patriots, I don't know. Shout out Chris Jones Harris, Nate Hobbs, yeah. Trayvon Morey. Yeah, that's a very good safety. They got him, Byron Young out of Alabama. You guys got some pretty solid young pieces, actually. So I do expect them to play as well. Just seeing what they do. We don't know how much they'll play, and that's always the question. But if you're watching them, it doesn't really matter. You just see what they do while they're in the game. Kind of like the CJ Stroud thing. So and that's funny is we talk about that because I just saw a video talking about CJ Stroud saying that had an extremely ugly preseason debut. So hey, fall back off my Giants. What Kenny Pickett doing? Kenny Pickett working. That's what he don't worry about Kenny Pickett. He working. He putting in the work to be great when the time comes. So that's what we're gonna see right there. So right now we're getting into the last stages of the game. Like I said, recap. Texans put together some pretty good drives, I think, from all quarterbacks, and that's Davis Mills, CJ Stroud. No, but him and Case Keenum, those two have looked pretty solid. So put together some good drives, got some good work. Tank Dell showing out. Patriots just got a touchdown. Patriots just got a touchdown. It's too little, too late. But Malik Cunningham, what I just said, athleticism, showing his athleticism, making a play on the run. Let's go ahead and put this on the board. But yeah, maybe they could use him a little bit because Mac Jones, he's not running anywhere. So maybe they could use him to run just a bit. Danny working too, like I say, 11-6, my guy. All right, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what the Eagles and the Cowboys have to say about that. We'll see what Washington got to say about that. Sorry, nah, but we'll see. We'll see. Shout out SCN touchdown Pats. Jake Vislin. Jake Vislin. Are you going to watch Seahawks Vikings game after this? So actually, I will be watching it, but I will not be live streaming that game after this. I'm gonna watch the game though, see what the takeaways are from the game, and then I really want to see Witherspoon, some of the different guys on that team, whoever is all playing. I think that's the biggest question. But the Vikings, they got some good young pieces as well. So I will be watching the game, will not be live streaming it. And like I said, probably gonna get into now going back through the film, getting into some film breakdowns for some of these guys, and also making some more videos for tomorrow. So shout out SCN. Where's Cunningham from? Cunningham, he's from Louisville, running back. I said running back, running quarterback out of Louisville. So we see what he just did, and so they went for two and didn't get it. Now I gotta change the score. Like Patriots, I guess you. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. You're trying your 2 point conversion plays. What do you have to lose? I get it. I get it. I get it. Probably gonna come out with an onside kick. Dak ain't got enough this year. He has enough around him. But does he have enough within himself? That's the question. Uh, Dak Prescott, it's so frustrating. And I wonder what it's like being a Cowboys fan, having all of that talent, having Michael Parsons. I think probably close to a generational talent. And then Dak Prescott in the biggest games, he's seeing red for the wrong reason. He's not seeing red attacking. He's seeing red because he's struggling. So yeah, just a little over a minute left in the game right now. Like I said, pretty rough one today, but tomorrow, we got some good things coming tomorrow. Uh, Kicking it with Cloud. I hope the Giants win tomorrow. I'm seeing a lot of things about Giants this and Giants that, but the Lions they coming. So I want to see what they do tomorrow. In a commercial break right now. Patriots finally put together a job. Took them 4 quarters and a lot of time to do it, but they finally did it. Finally did it. I don't want to take it too far and say this is what the season will be like, but it's still some questions for me. Getting to it. Shout out to Kicking It with Clout. Make sure I get my boy to 10K by the end of the year. Yes, 10K by the end of the year. Who knows? Maybe even more. Maybe even a whole lot more by the end of the year. So just gonna keep grinding and just let the results play for themselves. Let the results play for themselves. That's all I can say. Patriots about to kick the football off. This is crazy. This is crazy. It's funny. I wonder if Mac Jones would have gotten the game. Would he have, been a whole lot better? Shout out Chris Jones Harris. Trey Tucker is a sleeper. He got him from the Darren Waller trade. We got him from the Darren Waller trade. He can play special teams and slot receiver. He might play some. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of that. I've been seeing a lot of that. I would you trade Hunter in from? As a Raiders fan? I know that he dealt with some health things, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Making sure I get a video saying that. Okay, so what's gonna happen when y'all don't win though? Do you still want a video the same night if y'all go out there and struggle and Jalen Hyatt drops a couple passes? Don't think that's gonna happen, but stay consistent with it now. Stay consistent with it. 50 seconds left. So they're running the clock out right here. Like I said again, guys, don't forget to like the stream. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Coming back tomorrow with the Lions versus the Giants. Have some videos coming out tomorrow discussing preseason and some different things. So pretty interesting. I may I may drop a video on CJ Stroud. So just be on the lookout for some different things. Chris Jones Harris. Not right now. He needs a bounce back year. I agree. He does, but the player that he is. He's capable of it. Kicking it with clout. Ain't no losing, boy. We on that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Wonder who's gonna play quarterback. I know probably Tyrod. Daniel Jones is probably not gonna play that much. So um yeah. Your boy Trey Hawkins. We gonna see if he really Hawking tomorrow. Jake Vigilant, shout out with the comment. What's your favorite team? Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers are my favorite team. But it's funny. Like I think that I want to say my favorite team is just the NFL or or the NBA because it really doesn't even matter what team I'm talking about. So that's gonna wrap the game up for today. That's gonna wrap up the game for today. Your final score 20-9, as you can see right here. So pretty good game. Like I said, some good work getting in early. So if you guys have any final comments, this is now the time to comment them before we get out of here. Shout out SCN with the comment. Giants going to show out tomorrow. Tyrod to Hyatt. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. Definitely gonna keep my eyes on that. So, like I said, thank you guys for being here, for all the comments through the stream, talking ball, talking about everything. That's gonna wrap it up for today's stream. We're about to get out and make some more videos. Again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Oh, we got one more comment. Hey, yeah, seeing I like you, my boy. That's what we gonna end the stream because I don't need Giants ganging up in here.